I am Brad Ellis, and I have finished Resident Evil 4 Remake.
We're starting off hot. I am Michael Huber, and I have finished Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Michael Damiani, and I have finished Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Spoilers are going to start. So if you're not caught up, get out now.
Yeah, get out.
Go.
Get out.
Go.
Spoilers start right now.
Spoiler mode, final warning, spoiler mode, activated.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Your boys are back. Michael Huber, Michael Damiani, and I'm Brad. We kind of like Resident Evil around here, just a little bit.
A little bit.
I think Damiani is like kind of fond of Resident Evil 4, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Well, yes, Resident Evil 4 Remake is here finally. Goddamn, is it good?
Oh, it's glorious.
It's good. Love it.
One of the best.
Whew. Let's talk about just some general. Let's hear some general thoughts from you. Like me and Hubert talked about this briefly before in another video. Damiani, I want the full unfiltered Damiani take.
Yeah.
Impression.
Hubert got like a small sample when we finished the full playthrough on stream.
Yeah.
But I really, really appreciate how well they take zones and make them either one-to-one, craft unique new areas in between some of those, the familiar kind of tissue there, to give it like its familiar DNA, and then the way they play tricks on veterans. Obviously, a new player is not going to be able to appreciate some of this stuff. I still think it's like, from what I'm hearing, it's very good for new players as well. But for veterans, the way they play with your expectations is fantastic. It's just such a good way to make a game that's been played to death feel so fresh and new again. Just a really good achievement there by Capcom and the team behind this.
Okay.
I've talked to a lot of gamers over the course of my entire life, and from my perspective, out of everyone I've ever known, because I love replaying video games, which is like not common, this is always the most replayed game by everyone I've ever known. Resident Evil 4. And that trend continues. Yeah.
That's so true. I remember for years, trying to be like, no, it's this game is replayable, but so many people would just say like, yeah, I'm going to replay RE4. It's so replayable. It's so replayable. And it's so true.
Yeah.
So true.
We have a lot of praise about this game, but like, what's some stuff that kind of let you down? Maybe not let you down, but you'd think were some flaws. Don't have to be huge or anything like that. Nothing devastating, but just a few, maybe some nitpicks.
Separate Ways and Mercenaries not being there right out of the gate, I guess. If I have to like really nitpick, Brad, because I don't mind waiting. I'm a very patient person.
Yes.
But it would be nice if there was maybe some confirmation or something about Separate Ways, and getting a little nervous.
We got Mercenaries coming soon.
Yes,
which is great.
Yeah,
love it. But yeah, Separate Ways feels like inevitable.
Yeah,
like it's gonna happen. We just don't know how long it's gonna take or whatever.
Absolutely.
What about you, Damiani?
Yeah, for the most part, I understand a lot of the decisions they made for like alterations. Just like a person, like a favorite I was kind of expecting didn't show up was There's No Hell in the Cell.
U3 or whatever.
U3?
Yeah, just like throwing in with the Gyarados, in the cell. So when you shoot the original puzzle where you shoot the wine glass in the castle, there's the thing in the middle, you walk up there, bam, and you are locked. Two locked doors with a bunch of Gyarados surrounding you with like archers with the flaming arrows, nonsense.
Nuts.
And they just keep dropping in, so like you gotta get out of there. It's like a death trap. And it was like meant to be like a guaranteed death and cheese, but like I was kind of curious, but they did so much other thing. Obviously, like it not being in there, they just refer to it as like the boss just got completely cut, which is
Separate Ways.
That's I like your theory, Huber. So just like a lot of little small that stinks, but man, they put so much in here. This is really cool. So can't like fault them, because then the game would have been so damn long if they had everything plus all the new stuff in there. Again, like shouts to like the lake section, how that's like reimagined and stuff. Like I would take that over like a piece of cut thing like that. My only really serious nitpick You saw it. I got to show Huber some examples on stream. Ashley's AI at times, specifically her walking into the line of sight of fire. Not that big of a deal because like she can survive a lot. I will say, Huber, this became a serious effing issue on professional. So many of my deaths were Ashley just doing a stupid ass thing, walking in my line of fire when she was already behind. Like I was like, stay back. There's a ton of room here. She walks in front of me. Like I was like, please stop. Like I got really angry at one point. I was like, you need to stop going over there. Like I was like, like this is because their enemies are super fast at that point. You can't just run away. So I'm like, I need you positioned here. I've done the setup. Let's go. And then we begins, and she runs right in front of me. I'm like, please. So
that's interesting. I never really had an issue with that. I think I shot Ashley once in my entire playthrough.
Same. But when I was watching Damiani, it did happen more than
I guess the thing with me is I was constantly moving. She was with me when I wanted her to be with me. And when I would kind of like aim, sometimes she would duck for me, which is great. But I don't know, maybe just luck of the draw.
So I'll give you an example. I mean, again, I know you guys played on hardcore. On professional, there's zero chance to run away from an enemy. They will always catch you, and they don't stop running after you no matter what. Like you try and turn and fire, they are there. So like it's ridiculous. It is. So the water room in the castle. If you go in there and take a path and go to one of like the corners to like try and like hole up there, by the time you get there, the enemies will already be like on you and stuff. So I would like, okay, I want to do this objective, so I'm gonna run in that corner. I'm gonna have her tight with me. I'm just gonna and like there's enough distance behind me, and then I'm gonna double back, and she's gonna be in that corner, and then I say, give me distance, and I'm gonna go forward. I start moving forward away from her, and then I initiate like give me distance, so she should not go in front of me. Enemies are now swarming towards me in those choke points. I'm like, here we go. She runs right in front of me, and I was like, are you shitting me? I ran in this corner and like literally faced away from it, moved forward, and then issued you to go back. Like wait, and she runs forward. I'm like, and like so if you try and like reset it, it's too late. Like they're right there. It's like they grab her and like. That's a nightmare because you're trying to free her, but like you're done. You're basically got to reset. So it didn't happen a lot, Brad. I'll give you that, but it happened enough times, especially on professional. That I'm just surprised there isn't like a command to be like just no matter whatever direction you're facing, you're just behind me. You can't tell her to stay put. I get that decision. It's a creative decision. I wish they would like clean it the AI up a little bit so she would never. Once you're aiming, she will never run in front of your gun. That's like all I want is like please just never.
I think that's kind of their intent with it, but stuff gets loose. I think if it was like her stuck on your back the whole time, it'd look really weird and seem weird when you're aiming and her just like super close.
Even
to you.
her just going to like the side would have like been like nice. So she always just stands in front.
She
sometimes
reacts to whatever's going on around here is where she moves and like, something just happens.
Case to case.
It was a handful of times, not the end of the world. And it was, I like it was fine, but like the times it did happen felt very like I felt like when I would kill her, I'm like that feels cheap, man. That was not like that felt a little unfair. But otherwise,
well, you shot her because of the piercing stuff too, didn't you?
Oh, that was early. But this would be like she was behind me. I'm literally shooting at enemies. She walks into my line of sight as I'm shooting, and it gets like headshot or something. I'm like, are you kidding me?
But she's not dead right away though, right?
Oh, in professional one, anything touches her, she's dead.
Sure, she's dead. Yeah.
Like you can like some like light splash damage from like a fire will cause her to do the R3.
Yeah.
But generally, any kind of hit from any direct weapon she's done. Okay. Especially from you, anything that touches her is done.
One shot. Yeah. Quick note: I really, really hope Mercenaries has its own progression or at least a lot more skins. I'm always disappointed with the lack of skins. Like a lot of them come with the deluxe edition. That's cool, but like there's a couple, like give us more skins, please.
So like full outright costumes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like there could be
they
couple
have
more.
A lot of accessories.
Yeah.
A lot of accessories, I know, for sure. But I mean like where's my
the no RPD one is
where's
weird.
my RPD?
Yeah.
Where's my Ryu? Where's my Capcom characters? Like where is that? Again, nitpicking, but for one of the highest profile, biggest budget releases.
Have they ever had like a Street Fighter character?
Now's the time. Who cares?
I'm
Do
just
it now.
asking.
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
I don't remember. I don't
It
think
is
so.
cool, though.
Dead Rising. Dead Rising has
Dead Rising
Mega Man
does,
and shit.
yeah. Yeah.
I do like how some of the accessory dough have like bonus effects to them.
They do.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
For sure. But I hope Mercenaries adds more of that stuff. I feel like that's a great opportunity to add more.
Like,
Because like PC version, like that's a whole community. There's like legitimately 1 million. So
Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate them bringing back like Ashley's knight armor,
Yeah,
where she can't
of
take
course.
damage in it, which is actually
Essential.
which is like once I got that, I was like, all right, now I don't have to worry about any of that nonsense with her getting like killed. But also like the other ones, like there's one that gives you like infinite ammo, one that increases like melee damage. So
shit's sick.
some of them feel pretty good.
yeah.
Let's stick on Ashley this time around. So I think her controlling I prefer more now. How you can her control style now instead of the past one.
yeah.
I like it more. It feels more dynamic, I guess, instead of like wait here kind of thing.
Oh, you mean that?
I understand why people like that, but I prefer how it is now. I
Me
think.
too, I
'Cause,
like it now.
I couldn't see just Ashley like not being close to Leon or Leon
Yeah.
letting Ashley get that far away from her unless
Yeah.
he's like telling her to hide somewhere. It seems more realistic to me, I guess. But
I agree.
that's just a personal preference, I guess.
I agree. It's a balance. It's like, and I think they tried to hit that balance because there are moments when she can hide in a locker or something. But if like every single encounter, I'm just like wait here, hide in there, like it just trivializes it
Because you don't have to even think about it.
Yeah, so I see it both ways, and I appreciate that they tried to strike a balance because there are moments when she can hide, and
Yeah.
so yeah.
Her character this time around seems like
Oh yeah,
way more fleshed out and
Yeah.
likable, I guess. I didn't think she was terrible at all in the original or anything like that, but this one just feels more likable to me.
100%. The remakes continue to offer the best characterization of every Resident Evil character they've ever done. Remake 2, Remake 3, Remake 4. Absolutely the best versions of these characters, hands down. Starting with Ashley for sure here. It felt more of a team.
Yeah.
She felt like more of a team, whereas the first one, or like the original, I always get the vibe, probably because you're just telling her to wait and hide all the time. Just the whole vibe of like, I'm protecting her.
Yeah, she was like helping you out. Like
like she helps.
The room with the knights and she throws down
Yes.
flames and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah. They made her as much as possible a more active participant in this one, and it was definitely more believable. Like she doesn't have the training that Leon has, but when there's opportunities, it's like, hey, I'm not just gonna sit here and like watch you get hurt when I have something I can do.
Yeah.
To the point where even when she goes off on her own, she's like confident. She's telling them, I got this. Like we were talking about it, like you feel those bonds being made there.
Oh, yeah.
But also you see like both of them and like going through this traumatic situation. You see her reacting, I feel, much more believable to the situation going on around her, like the reality of her being infected, the reality of being like this prisoner and like all this like death and mayhem going on around her. Like her reactions feel very normal to me, and it feels like you see her going through that trauma. Like I was thought you were gonna say like this is the best, not just characterization, but shows how these characters handle and go through trauma in these remakes.
For sure.
Like and deal with that.
One of my favorite scenes in this entire game was not in the original, and it's when Leon and Ashley are at the garden, and she had just turned with the knife and everything, and she runs off because she's scared to hurt Leon. And then you catch up to her, and they are sitting on the couch, and they have that heart-to-heart conversation, and it's just so good.
Yeah, it's good.
Love that scene.
That's the old Ada room.
Yep. So I thought that was a great kind of remixed, done scene there.
Let's just go back to the village. Let's talk about the village as itself.
Yeah.
Definitely extremely familiar.
Oh.
But like this whole game definitely keeps you on your toes with new things. Not only the way it's laid out, but what enemies do. Like it's made super apparent really early in the game with the chainsaw, Dr. Salvador, cutting down some of the building when you're walking through it.
Yeah.
And the best one, the clock tower, when you go up the clock tower.
I loved your instincts. I thought you knew something. Tommy, I was like, oh, crouch here. Because when we were doing maybe Jolly Co-op or something, I was like, oh, would that maybe work? Like, there's so many moments of that play into your expectations.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, how do you feel about that encounter? Like an incredibly legendary encounter in gaming. Yeah.
Somehow you surpass one of the greatest encounters in gaming to become, again, one of the greatest encounters in gaming.
Yeah.
I think Damiani, dude, I actually had a really strong thought about that village fight because of you, actually. I was thinking about you resetting the room. And that fight is the fucking best in the game because there's no room to reset.
So, yeah.
There's really no room to reset here. You can go on like your path thing, but like so many times in the game, the enemies, you know, if you go into the other room, they just turn around and walk away, right? Break immersion, video game, it's fine. Reset the room, okay. But the village is the showpiece and the showcase of the entire combat system because the cheese is limited.
They did their the development team did their homework. They looked at probably what were the most like popular strategies that people were using, going into the shotgun house, going around the like going out the window, and then going around the U-turn, waiting on that ledge, and just like it was a bottleneck because no one could get up from behind you, and it was there. But now they added like a window there, so now you have multiple enemies coming through there, so you can get overwhelmed faster. So there's not just the one choke point coming around that corner. Was super easy just to like clip someone, melee them, back off, and use that to your advantage. You couldn't do that anymore, and people can come up from behind you still. So they were like at least they were trying in like every single spot in that game, they were trying to make sure you had at least 2 points where enemies could come at you, where there was no more, like even that room in the house across from the shotgun house, that back room used to be like there was no way out of that room when you're in there, so like you could like that could be a bottleneck. But then they had the window they could break through that, which is in Mercenaries. The OG Mercenaries had that. So I think they just took a look at all that data and said, we need to do this. And then even the additions they added, like the extra little like path behind the room that goes to like the Chief's Manor, that pathway, that last building right there used to be like a dead end. Now there's like a little path around it. And that, like they gave you more ways to try and like run a little bit more. But at the end of the day, like there's still, you know, you try and camp there. Enemies are going to come on the other side of the ramp. Maybe they can't get up to you, but like you have nowhere to go. You jump down there, there's a swarm of enemies. Trying to go in front of you, there's a swarm of enemies. So like they did a really good job with that.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
You've done that fight a few times.
Yeah. I like the barn area where you get to right after the village.
Yeah.
Very familiar.
Yes.
We're like, okay, yeah, there's there, treasure spinning, okay. Just know you don't shoot the thing down this time. You just don't get in the water.
I love the way stealth makes that whole area different.
Yes. We're going to dive into that. But I do love the new enemy type, which is the bowl dudes.
Yeah.
They are a threat.
Yes.
Big time.
Yeah.
Hammer-wielding bullheads.
Replace the JJ enemy. Because there's no Gatling gun enemy.
Yep.
So you need someone who's like a little
the
bit...
pig guys have like a Gatling gun or gun thing later.
I get
that, but like this is like the new menace.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You really like gotta be careful around them. And I like they just showed their hand earlier with that.
Yeah.
And they said the variety, like the one just swinging around that giant club.
Yeah.
And winds up, it just goes. It's like, oh crap. And then
there's
the other
one that like kicked me, dude. It was awesome.
Yeah, like you can't be up close by it. It will like just like that knockback is nasty. Yeah.
I saw them. I like heard there was gonna be. I'm a little bummed. I heard there was gonna be new enemies right before I got the review copy.
Oh,
because that for whatever reason, I don't know what I was thinking. Wasn't even on my radar. Like
new enemy
type. And it was like whoa. So pretty shocking. Pretty bold move to throw in new enemies.
Yeah, and I think that encounter is specifically sick, Hubert, because it does feel like you're a little more warmed up and you're like, the knife.
Yes.
There's like a guy right there on to your left and like a guy right to your right. You're like,
Yeah.
try to knife both of these guys.
Hell yeah.
You do that, and you see that door, you're like, okay, let me get that door. It's locked. You go, oh shit. So then you start creeping around, then you go up through the thing, there's the mine there, I love that. You go up through the thing,
mine.
Door's locked, you gotta get this time, go right back around into the barn, dude. See the item, you jump down,
Horror moment too. Giving you the horror
vibe.
Yes.
You go, oh shit, I gotta get out of here. You try to open the door, it's locked. You're like, fuck, and you gotta like swipe to get it off, dude. And this guy's chasing you. Really cool encounter, dude. Right off the bat. I really like that thing.
Heck yeah.
And the knife, especially on, I can't speak to you, Damiani, but for when we play hardcore, just a casual, like just normal, no upgrades or anything like that.
Yeah.
Getting a knife kill was super important.
So
Like a
important.
big value, dude.
Big value.
Especially if you got one of the boar guys.
Yeah.
Huge value. And I just
Huge
love that.
value.
Like, of course, it costs you something with your knife,
Yeah.
but it was just
Not that much.
Just, not that much.
Like
but
breaking out of an attack obviously
Yeah, it's
uses way
way
more,
more.
which I love that balance.
But I think on the heavier guys, it does more damage.
Yeah.
But what I'm just saying is it's just like a sick little resource to think about.
totally.
Because you and me complain about this all the time. The knife in the original game is so broken. It's
Yeah.
so boring, dude.
So strong.
It's so strong.
Yeah.
And the knife is good in this too, but it doesn't feel like a cheat code.
Exactly.
Like the
It's a
original knife
resource.
now feels almost like a cheat code. Because you could just knife people
Well.
forever when you shoot them down.
Yeah.
It was good for the first playthrough. It's good on on the harder difficulties, especially like when you need only perfect parries count, especially for like the parry thing, so you can't just like hold it to do that. It like it rewards you for doing that. I will say the moment I got the infinite durability knife, I just stopped. I was like, I equipped that. I'm like done because like the way the game's designed, you shouldn't even be playing it the way the old way was played. Like you don't shoot someone down and walk up and knife them anymore. Like there will
I
be
love
a
that was your
prompt.
instinct on one of the first enemies. You're like, let's go right for the
Let's see if
kneecaps.
it works, which is good because that was one of the new enemy types. Was like the new like partway infected Las
Dude,
Plagas.
bent neck man.
Yeah, you didn't have those before. You only had like the standard Ganado, and then you went right into like the long neck ones. And it's like there was no in between before that. Now it's like, oh, but like if you do regular enemies, you can't shoot out their knees and then like do a suplex or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you can go up and like knife them, but like that's not efficient. You're wasting your durability. You want to wait for prompts where it's like you get your money's worth, or doing stealth kills.
Yeah.
And that really changed the way you kind of like play with the knife game and made it feel more meaningful, especially for like a first playthrough. It was like, this is what I wanted. This feels good that I'm not just
Repair
walking
that
up and
every
like
time.
hearing that.
Yeah.
But like just the amount of enemies that generally are coming after you, it's like you wouldn't be able to do that because they take just more damage in general. It's like this is good. The feeling of being overwhelmed, like in that same farm area. If you just like alert everyone and trigger that and start running around, you're not gonna just be able to use your knife to get through that. You gotta, you gotta.
Shout out to the boot knife and the kitchen knife too. Those are sick.
Yeah, like that made it like picking up those extra ones. Like, dude, I got some, but like when it broke, you're like, I can't even parry anymore. So it's like crap. Yeah.
Yeah, the parry, we've said a million times, is very sick.
Very.
When I chopped the dude's hand off from parrying his punch, I was like, okay. You just keep doing it, Capcom.
Marvin would be pleased.
Yeah, Marvin would be pleased. That knife lived on, dude. Let's talk about the big cheese, man. The big cheese, the village chief.
Oh, Mendez.
Yeah, how did you feel about him this time around?
I mean, like everything in this game, it was a little bit, well, it didn't completely lose its original identity. Everything was a little bit more grounded. So a lot of the over-the-top ridiculousness was cut out of it. Obviously, they were more menacing. They got to appear a little bit more, which is nice. Obviously, that first encounter, pretty similar. Slight tweak to the dialogue, just like, oh, you got your blood in you and leaves you alone. When the original one's like, you can wander around, but if you come in pleasant to our eye, it was like a little over top cheesy.
Yeah,
but the part later when he just chases you down, he's like,
Loved
it's like
that.
Tyrant Mr. X style. Like if
That was a
actually,
cool moment.
He actually gets grabbed by her, it's over. You can't even
That was the
rescue
best.
her.
That was the best.
Yeah, I
I
tested
stood there. I just kept shooting at him. I'm like, I don't care. I'm gonna die here.
I had to
Let's
test
go.
it. Second playthrough, I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, it's
Yeah.
instant fail. I was like, that's sick. So you have like that chase sequence, and then like his boss fight is so much better. I think the original version of that boss fight is one of the worst fights in the game. It's a cool setting, but like mechanically, it's kind of boring, and then like it's like a back and forth kind of like run here, run there.
Yeah.
Where this was like you have this whole room to work with. The dodge prompts, the parrying is an active part. The second floor has like a part to play, and in the second form, it's way more active. Like him swinging and throwing stuff. You got to run and dodge, shooting the explosive barrels. It just felt better.
It was nice.
That fight also showcased just better balanced game compared to the original. Because in the original, it was like, okay, I'm just going to make every gun damage upgrades. I don't need anything else. It's fine. the reload speed in this game was so slow. So like that fight, there were a couple times, more than once for sure, where he's got the red barrels. I'm
Reloading.
like, reload, don't throw the barrel. So like that factoring into, and I had never experienced that, like where reload speed was really causing me damage.
Also, really cool that you get to go to their house, like that whole segment with the puzzle, figuring out the three things, but also. Yeah, they left, like, you go there in the original one, and, like, I didn't even register that that's, like, his place. It's, like, this nice house. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
They still left in the Ganado in the bathroom, which was really cool.
Of
Like,
course,
nice touch.
of course.
But this maybe also, I know we're talking about Mendez, but this also speaks to a great strength of this game is the backtracking via the quests that are dropped in this game. That adds so much more to this experience by providing additional layers for meaningful backtracking because circumstances and conditions change.
Yeah.
And when you go back, things are different. Like I love that one going back to hunt that like the really aggressive dog.
Totally.
And you gotta like, what do you have to do? You have to like go back there with Ashley and go up to the attic area, and which has more lore about Luis. So it's like love again, Huber, how much of the like they fleshed out the lore in this game for a lot of the characters, expanded backgrounds, and a lot of it is optional. So much of it is so optional in those documents. And I love that about OG RE4 was reading all like getting like Salazar's original background in OG, you know, why he did what he did and stuff. And they still have something similar, but so good.
I know my nitpick now. I wanted actual documents to look at. I wanted a book. I wanted to be able to read the actual like writing on a book, not just white text.
I see that, but I wonder if people would have trouble reading it.
Well, you could have both.
Okay.
Like some games have both, where it's like like
The
Last of Us.
Village
Like
has
think
that,
of Last
I
of
thought.
like Last of Us. Last of Us. You pick up a thing, you can read it as it's actually written in writing, or you can show text.
Was it Evil Within that did that?
I think Evil Within too.
Because
it was Last of Us for sure.
something I played with you recently did that, where it shows up and then you hit a button and it brings up the text. I thought it was
Yeah.
Evil Within 1, but maybe I'm wrong.
Could have been Evil Within.
I like that idea. The only thing is it would be all in Spanish and we wouldn't understand it, so we'd have to use the text.
Creative liberties, make it regional, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I was like, I want to feel that.
We were talking about side quests. Let's talk about the merchant. The merchant.
What are you buying?
You know,
Stranger.
the original legendary character.
Dude,
I think this merchant
I agree.
is like maybe better.
I agree.
than the
100%.
original.
I agree.
I think he just has really sick lines.
Tell him your favorite line. Tell him your favorite line, Brad.
Well, it's about the herbs. He goes, herbs, like, kill a man,
Yeah.
do it all. But I like because he's kind of like a dickhead to you sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't buy something, he's like, come back when you got money or some shit like that. Dude.
When Damiani bought the blacktail, he like shrugs. He's kind of just like, it's not really the best at anything, but it'll get the job done, I guess.
The best is the rocket launcher.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't
You
say
like buy
his
the
line.
rocket launcher.
He shames you.
Yeah, he shames you.
Big time.
Well, he makes up for it when you buy the infinite one, though.
Yeah.
He doesn't say like stranger, like now that, or like now that's, you know, now he's like chaos and mayhem. He's like just like reveling and like, oh yeah, here we go, baby. So it's like, all right, I was like waiting for that moment.
Yeah,
where,
he's like, you'll trivialize or something like along those lines. And
yeah, he's like,
dude.
I'm not like, his line's like, I'm not one to tell someone how to play, but if you want the easy way, you know.
He says it's more interesting.
Yeah.
Something about it being like less interesting by that purchase is basically the
How much was it
context.
on standard, the rocket launcher?
It's 80 on that.
80?
It was, and then there's a charm where you could reduce the cost
Wow.
too.
It was
But
double for us.
160
It is
on hardcore.
hilarious though that every single major boss in the game can still get one shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing
Even
of
on
the weapon.
professional, I'm like,
that's the
what?
thing of the weapon.
It's just funny as shit. Because I didn't believe it. Because like the first
it
time I
is funny.
did it was on El Gigante. I'm like, Huber, I'm doing it. Like I'm trying to.
Wait, you had enough money to do it then?
Yeah, that's all I told Huber, dude. This is what I'm doing. I'm saving up for this. I gotta see it.
One of the
I didn't
funniest
believe
moments
it.
I've ever seen. It's just like this hype ass moment. Dead.
Oh my
Like
god.
instantly, I aim fire, and it's like it doesn't cut. I'm like, no way, it worked.
How many bosses did you use rocket launcher on the first?
That one,
3?
and Verdugo, and the final boss.
3 bosses?
On Sadler. He's on Sadler. Although I'm lucky I fired it when I did on Sadler, because with Infinite, when he's perched up in his mutated form, you shoot him there, that doesn't count. He has to land first,
Got
and
it.
then it registers, so you can waste your shot.
Dude.
Good thing I was
tip.
cautious and wanted to see what his movement was, and when he came at me, I fired. Otherwise, that would have been hilarious. But yeah, the Verdugo one maybe was the one that when I did it legit, I was a little bit more disappointed about. I think the challenge of not using the ice, the liquid nitrogen made that fight way more intense and better.
That challenge.
But using the liquid nitrogen kind of made that fight a little bit it was the most similar to the original one, and so it felt a little too. I was expecting to be a little bit more tense.
I will say, for my first playthrough of that,
I remember this.
I asked Brad. My first playthrough, I was using the ice tanks, freezing the hell out of it, shooting the hell out of it. I used every single thing I had almost, and it didn't die. And I in my head, I was like, dude, maybe you can't kill it here? Remake effing with me? What is happening? So the first playthrough, I just used all my resources and had to leave. So then I asked Brad, I was like, dude, can you kill it there? And he's like, I don't know.
I ran from him.
Yeah,
I knew he was a bullet sponge.
Bullet sponge,
no.
exactly. Save your resources.
He took a
It was a lot.
It took all my ammo.
Next time I was like, all right, I'm ready.
It did. It took a
for the
lot
next
of it.
one.
Yeah. But it still has the prompt. The only mistake you can make with that dude is standing your ground and shooting at him when he unfreezes. All the prompts for dodge and stuff are kind of still there when you run, which is nice. So rule number 1, when I did it with the first encounter with the Gyarados, keep calm. I told you about Huber, the trick to this boss. Anyone who played this knows, stop, don't move. Just be calm. He'll be right next to you swinging. You're ducked. He's not going to hit you. This fight wants you to freak out and make noises. Same with Verdugo. He wants you to start spraying and praying. He's right in front of me. It's no, just run. You're going to hear these crazy ass noises. You get running ass, but then there's going to be a nice little prompt that says evade. And you do that, and that's your moment. Turn, shoot. Just run again. But yeah, that dude was to kill him.
So much.
Yeah.
Even with a magnum. Shooting him in the face.
Yeah.
It took
magnum.
It took a lot.
Yeah.
Although
go ahead.
he takes more damage frozen, and you can if you do land a killing blow on him frozen it's not possible on your first playthrough, but it's possible to shatter him. Obviously, rocket launcher
it was
we
so
did,
sick.
but with other weapons that won't trigger the pursuit. So if you have fully loaded the highest power Magnum or Red 9, and you just unload into him, you might be able to destroy him before he can run off and do a second thing.
That's dope.
The cool shit that they did, where they have different things you can maybe do.
So many things on
If you don't rescue the dog, obviously, El Gigante is going to play it a little differently.
The second Verdugo is unaccounted for in the remake, right? We don't see it merge with Salazar it does in the original.
That's separate ways.
That's the original. Totally Verdugo and U3 in separate ways, 100%.
There's lore for Verdugo back in Salazar's throne room if you go back into there, but that's it. It just talks about their transformation.
It went to go hunt Ada, but I guess that makes sense. It just goes off to hunt Ada, probably.
I would say, before we move on from the village, one part I really like, Tuber, is when you have access to the lake and you're driving around the lake. Obviously, the extra stuff you could do, but one thing I did like was...
lost legacy energy.
So at the beginning of the game, you see this woman being on their altar or whatever, okay?
Yeah.
So then you come back later and you see there are 2 hikers, and you find one of the hikers' bodies later on when you go in, dude. And they have the thing painted on their face.
Yeah.
Then you go up a ladder, and there's another one on the altar. And I'm like, that is just sick little
nice
detail.
Little touches.
And it's just you get a small treasure up there. It's not really a huge payday kind of thing. It's just cool little lore notes, I should say.
Yes, Brad, 100%. Just pulling you into the world.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Making it showing that this isn't just some isolated moment. It's no, this cult has been doing shit to other people and not just like, we're not in some fantasy land, you know?
Yeah.
It makes it grounded.
Yeah.
It makes it realistic for
Like
sure.
normal people getting caught in it.
Yes. Great detail.
Yeah, Lake area was definitely better, and
Yep.
though still cool they left in Del Lago's like little Easter egg about shooting the water.
Yeah, that's
still
fun.
in there.
That's fun.
Love the memes.
But I
though.
just gotta
Telling new players,
Just
"Hey,
gotta
shoot the
say,
water."
my biggest regret is not playing Del Lago on the harder difficulties because of his how long it takes to kill him. The fight drags out for a while.
Takes a lot longer.
Like, yeah, professional takes a lot, and he gets way more aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, there's clearly a point where he does some enough damage has been registered where his behavior changes. He just like drags you around. It's very easy to dodge all the debris. He'll get to an edge of the lake, jump at you. You have all the time in the world to dodge it, drag you into a spot, go away, and then like charge at you and like rinse and repeat. There was one part where he's like doing like freaking like whale dives, like constant ones, like do a barrel roll. He's not giving you like there's like the last half of the fight he will not give you an easy target. He's constantly jumping out of the water, like barely like popping out at random times and giving you like very little windows, and without telegraphs, he'll jump back at you. It won't be at the end of the lake. It'll be like in the middle. All of a sudden, he just like jumps and he speeds. Not only does he speed at debris, he starts splashing to make he obscures your view. He obscures your view with all the spray, so you can't see shit. I'm like, dude, what? This is so sick. I was like, I'm like, Huber, this guy's a fucking menace on Professional. What the hell? Like, it was like 20 minutes. Like, dude, I've hit him so many times. Why is he not dead? So I kind of appreciate that no matter how powered up
Unlock like a golden spears.
Yeah, no matter how powered up you are, like that is preserved. Just like something later on, like some of the attraction mode stuff, or like where it's like you get on it, you're just restricted to something, and you have to deal with that situation. It's kind of nice, like the mine cards. Yeah.
Before we move on to the castle, I want to ask you about crafting, which is new to Resident Evil 4. We've had that obviously in Resident. They had that in 2, right? Remake 2. There's crafting. Was there? It's been a long time for me. Jesus, you can't remember either.
Well, it's in 3. It's in
Remake 3 for
3
sure. Anyways,
it's been
new to 4. How did you feel about it this time around? Did you enjoy it? Do you feel like it was necessary? Not necessary?
I liked Huber's explanation, if you remember it, about why you
giving you the option and not forcing you to use whatever ammo they give you, especially on higher difficulties. It's like, here's the ammo. You're using this gun now.
It lets you choose.
Yeah.
Obviously, in first playthrough, it felt, those decisions became kind of important because you would only have so much to make. Even when you were like, I was only picking, I got shotgun, I got handgun, I got rifle. I was like, didn't want the TMP, didn't want the Magnum or anything like that. So I was like, I did keep the Magnum, but I wasn't crafting for it. And even just crafting for 3 weapons and the basic ones I was sticking with did a very good job of like, shit, I don't have enough. Like, is it gonna be like a bunch of crowds coming out? Should I do shotgun ammo?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be like easy shots so I can hang, or is it gonna be make a boss? I'm like, I have enough. Like, can I pick off stuff from a distance? So it became moment to moment like that. I will say on subsequent playthroughs, it is trivialized.
Well, if you're doing New Game Plus,
of course,
it doesn't matter.
It becomes
of course. Basically everything.
Pretty much everything.
It's like, but it's like something that was so important to the first playthrough that's not like there. So I personally, I get it. They have so many different weapons, and Huber's thing makes sense, but I think I would have felt just as much tension if like they just give me like less ammo in general. I think for someone like me, it could have been achieved by like, oh, I'm just running, like there's only so much ammo to pick up. Yikes! Like that's old Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Like, you be careful with your shots, man. Make them count. This, I get it. This was more about the decision making part of it. But for someone like me, where it was like my mind was like up from the very get go, it didn't have that much of an impact for that element.
Yeah,
Got it.
It had a big impact in my game also, because me and
I
Huber
really
played on
liked
hardcore, and I'm sure that affects some of the supplies you get. But also, we had the TMP. You didn't use the TMP, right?
Nope.
Okay,
I never
so
used TMP.
it definitely became a time of me having these weapons and being like, should I save for Magnum? Kind of close.
Yeah.
Should I try to hold down and just save for my Magnum right here?
Should I get TMP or should I get
TMP?
shotgun?
I'm in a jam right
the
here.
TMP versus shotgun debate
I'm in a
was
jam right here. What
always-
should I do?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like, I ran pretty low on ammo at one part in the game. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm out of ammo.
Dry.
Yeah, I was dry, which was great. But I think that mechanic specifically will be greater if you're on a harder difficulty or
Probably
seem
true,
more appropriate.
And on the first playthroughs, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah,
New
yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah.
To me, most of the game is balanced around new game.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
But there is obviously new game plus it's a big part of the game. But
Yeah.
that mechanic specifically is for new game. In my opinion.
Unfortunately, I can't appreciate that because even though I need to do new game for this S plus ranks, I'm not doing it without any information. So like the pathing's been pretty much like outlined. So you look up like what should I focus on because like for this.
It's all the meta's already in play.
I know. So it's like I'm not I don't want to be
sad
frustrated.
day.
Especially professional is ridiculous, man. I don't want to be that frustrated. Like legitimate like best players are like this sucks. Like it's really hard to do.
Sure.
But it would 100% matter in that until certain points that like if you didn't know it's like oh god like what do I craft in this point?
Yeah.
Because what is the best?
Well,
For this encounter.
my advice for you would be down the line whenever you replay this game after a while, you play a new game on hardcore.
It's my favorite, balanced.
And you just go in there.
Yeah.
Don't look anything up. Don't try to remember anything.
I'm already gonna do after I finish all my professional stuff. I'm gonna do a new game from hardcore. But like the thing is,
I'm not saying like not looking at a guide though. I'm saying like down the line when you just replay the
year
game.
from now.
Yes.
so the thing is like I've got this game so memorized at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
does.
think
He
it's
does.
gonna matter.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like sadly, like I'd have to not play this game for like 2 years or more, and then come back to it. And it's like probably
years.
after about an hour, I'm like, okay, now I remember how to like play this game. This is really hard, but like I'm very happy this game gave me that type of experience again, even if it was about a week of that because. How many freaking years? 20 years of almost 20 years of playing OG RE4 when nothing shocked me anymore. It's like it's just like comfort food. I'm like just going like how many like it was like how many fewer shots can I fire in this run to like get through it? Like how much more like just knowing where you don't have to shoot and stuff. It's like it's like the fact that like I was like knowing how to like roll and cash to like buy an RPG for every single boss fight in OG. Like it's just a new game on a new game. It's like trivialized, just absolutely trivialized. Love the limitations on the RPG buying though. They were not unlimited on your playthrough. So you first in the village area you got one.
You probably get one per area.
One. You get two in the village, and I think I only bought one at the end of the island and didn't buy early enough, so I don't know if they only maybe give you two in that one, two purchases.
2 in the castle?
Yeah, 2 in the castle, but it's like, especially in the village, it's like, I think that matters the most because you have Mendez and El Gigante, and it's like, those two people remember, like, can be like menacing fights. The first one, El Gigante, bullet sponge, man, and Mendez is just like a nightmare. Like, you just want it to be over quick.
Really good boss fights.
Let's talk about my favorite character, Ramon Salazar. Great character.
You're small time.
Wait. Are we moving on for village yet or no?
Oh, what do you got?
Last thing, the standoff part in
The cabin?
the cabin shootout.
Cabin way better
my
this
god,
time.
that was
Iconic.
Way better.
Huber was pleased because up to that point,
Damiani was getting it.
I was like not really. I only died to like I shot Ashley once, and that was a shoot through an enemy kill, and then I purposely died to Delago to show that off. So no real death yet. Get there, died like 3 times, and Huber was pleased.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And he was like
trying to do the bottleneck on like the outside balcony, and they like get the ladder and come up, and then just like body block, dude. You're like trying to get out. You're like, it's over.
But Huber, I will say, like, so true. When you learn about the boarding up the window meadow, it like makes that like doing it on professional. I was like, okay, this is essential, and it makes this part when you know. Like that, like again, it's being calm. Seeing that, like, oh, look at what the enemies are dropping and pay attention. Stop running around, like with your chicken with your head cut off, like I was doing. I was like, no, I'm going upstairs. I'm going to the bottleneck. I'm safe. No, I'm not. Shit, where do I go, man? This sucks. Like, yeah, getting angry at Luis for not freaking shooting enough people. Because in the OG one, you just sit there and just let him like kill everything. And he's like doing kill shots. And I'm like, this time he's like, no, man, like you got to work for it.
Yeah.
This was on standard too.
Seriously, that part's crazy.
I do like the ladder that goes up in there.
Yeah.
It's a nice little touch.
Checking all the like cheese strats to make sure you can't just like easily
Hide
get
up
past
there,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, they did their homework on that fight.
Yeah.
then the bull guy comes and breaks the window.
Oh God,
so cool.
Insane. Great part.
Really good. Really
Sorry.
great encounter.
Salazar, your boy.
Yeah, Salazar.
Actually saving the day.
Ashley saving the day, open
This
the
way,
door.
guys.
Yeah.
So good.
Then you kill the big chief, then you're at the castle.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about, I guess, before you get to him. So, obviously, there's the cannon part when you, when you walk in.
glad they kept that.
I really liked the scene when you like first get in the castle and there's the guys walking past, they're like mumbling shit. And you turn the corner and the guy's stabbing himself.
Yeah.
So sick.
Or whatever. And then the pop and his head comes out.
It's like jumping on the ceiling.
Yeah, his head gets stuck on the ceiling. Really cool.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah, that new movement was like great. He was like very pleased that he had to point out later on that like, yo, wait for their mouths to open.
Oh my God,
because
Damiani,
they're
I
blood
saw
sponges.
so many people saying that.
Because the OG one
what's
doesn't
the
matter.
deal with these guys?
Yeah.
Why am I using 20 shotgun
The OG
shells?
one, it doesn't matter. It does not matter
but
how
it's
you
like,
hit them. But
you gotta see their mouth
Yeah.
open, dude. Then it's like the Death
classic
Star.
change. Classic
Reminded
change.
me of the Hunters in Remake 3 when
Yeah.
they open their mouths.
Yeah,
That's true, yeah.
I should have known better, dude. I should have like started to pick up on that. Like they're taking so many damage, too much damage to hit. Like fully powered sniper rifle, like hitting them headshot. I'm like, it's one-shotting other things, but like not this. I like should have picked up on that. Feel bad, man. But good stuff. Like good
Hell yeah.
throwing curveballs at you.
Yep. Keeping you on your toes, Damiani.
Keep you on your toes.
Capcom was pumped.
Oh yeah.
Dude, about like different ways to tackle stuff before I forget. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry, but that cannon part. Did you know when you're walking around that bend before the launchers start firing anything at you?
Yeah.
You can look in and shoot the cannon thing to
Yeah.
raise it immediately, and you can run up to it immediately and shoot. You can get out of there instantly.
You can shoot it while you're standing up there too.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, you can just bypass
Yeah.
all. I was like,
That's what's
oh
cool
my
about
God.
when you realize that.
Yes.
You're like, oh.
That was
They really fed the speedrunners for this game more so than any, and I think it's because of the length as well, but I feel like they really like every encounter, like there are so many moments and encounters that have some alternate speedrunning strat to bypass large portions of the game.
I wouldn't even call it speedrunning. This was them
Not like glitching or anything. Actually, just
this was
doing
literally playing against veterans, because veterans like, I know this part. It's 1-1. I'm gonna have to go do this. A new player would probably be scouting, looking around. What am I doing? They might see that. Like, what is that? They'd shoot it. Like, I think it was like playing against veterans, and like, yeah, you didn't have to do this, bud. Like, your own knowledge is working against
So
you.
eager to get up there.
Exactly. I think it was that. I think
That's
they were
good,
Like,
that's
they,
good.
like, what if we screwed with them like that?
Great classic encounter. I like that you got to use the cannon actually
Yeah.
shoot some dudes.
Oh my god, they just explode.
Yeah, that was super sick.
So good.
Then you
They let you too. It reminded me of the moment in Remake 2 after Tyrant. They give you the rocket launcher and just a flood of zombies comes in.
Oh, right, yeah.
And you have
That
like
part's
one
fun.
extra rocket to
yeah,
because
they let
like
you get a couple.
yeah, because like you never really use a rocket launcher against zombies, but this like right when you shoot the door or get the cannon or whatever, like 5 or 3, 4 guys come in right down that. You're just like
Yeah,
bowling
it's
balls.
Yeah, then you go in. And there's Ramon Salazar, nice presence. I like his new look. He has like a
Same.
Beethoven-esque haircut.
Yeah, or
kind of thing.
I thought of Dracula, like Francis
Yeah,
Ford Coppola's
exactly. Yeah, he's
Dracula.
like a very like Dracula French aristocrat kind of guy.
yeah.
Does he say his age in this one?
No.
I know he says he's 20 in the original.
Yeah, he goes, do you believe? Yeah.
I'm only 20 years old.
I mean, but like,
I assume he's the same age.
yeah, because I mean, he has they have the lineage like documents
Yeah.
that talk about like the generations and stuff.
Love
so like,
that, Ram.
you kind of get the hint that like he's maybe not that old. Also, like there's a portrait of his mom and dad, and like he's on the side.
Is this new? They talked about him being like sick.
Yeah, I don't remember him being sick.
And his mom letting the devil into
Yeah.
their home. to
That's
help him.
all. I
That's
believe
new.
that's all new, unless it was
Yeah.
in some expanded stuff,
Which I think is super cool.
Because like
Me
the OG
too.
one, you have like the servants like diaries when Ashley in the
Yeah,
Ashley
yeah.
part that like talk about how like he was a good person and
Yep.
like they discovered Las Plagas and
Yep.
he's
Sadler
lamenting
came.
his master falling further and further into like this
Yeah.
control,
Yeah.
being controlled. Like he was basically hoodwinked
Yeah.
by the.
But this one, this version of him is much more sadistic and evil. They talk about things like him throwing acid
Yeah.
on Servant's
Oh,
face and
gosh,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Psychotic.
He's a much more psychotic character. He's like fully on board. He knows what he's doing. It doesn't feel like he's getting
Yeah.
hoodwinked as much this time
Yeah.
around.
He's literally
Which I love.
He's
Yeah.
like every one of them is like trying to impress Sadler. Like
Yeah.
they're like trying to earn his like
Yeah.
loyalty and stuff. Because
The OG lore was that like one of his ancestors was like found the Las Plagas down there accidentally, did everything they could to like seal it up. That's why it was like sealed or whatever,
Yeah.
and then the bloodline carried on.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all still in this under
Yeah.
the castle, which is
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
I do think the story of him like going against what his family's destiny has been to like for Lord Sadler, you know?
Yeah.
Like he fucks it all up.
Yep.
Big mistake, buddy.
Yep.
But the castle, the most iconic piece to me in this game, I guess. I mean, like certain parts of the village, I'd think are more like the first one. The
Yes.
first one is, but I think the castle is like the real deal standout for me. How did you feel about it?
I love how it feels more coherent.
Yes.
The castle in the original game is fantastic, but it feels kind of scattershot at points where you just like travel to a certain part and like you're just looking out like this castle is like so spread out and everything. Like where like you don't have any like real relation to where you are half the time. You're just kind of moving. All the zones in this game, like the map, especially like the village and the castle, you pop it up, you see like the different layers, but then you get to see like the topography map where it's like how everything overlays. Like this looks so great, and again, same level of execution, like amazing execution of 1-to-1 areas mixed with new things. Like right off the bat, after that initial fight, like you get there, he summons some minions. It's like, hey, here are the types of enemies you're gonna be fighting here, and it's like, all right. In the original version, it's like. You when you went to go fight like Gyarados, it's like down in a cell. Now it's like this freaking dungeon now
Love
with like
that.
darkness, like message about like like warning you about like light and like noise, and it's like oh shit, like
The shot, like when you're right there, you see it's like stitched up eyes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
good.
I think it just puts you in a much more scary position. Because in the
atmosphere.
last one, you just like walk down
Oh,
calmly,
yeah.
and he's just there.
it's
and you're
supposed to be
"All
like a
right."
jump scare when you walk up to and hit the switch, like oh, and then
Yeah.
after that, it's like
But then
okay,
it's like you're
whatever.
thrown right in front of this guy now in the dark.
Yeah.
I think obviously Remake 4 it leans into horror more than the original.
Yeah, it does.
And I think that is showcased
It
the
sure
most in the castle. So that's why I really like the castle. Just the like the flashlight, right? Just like creeping
Yes.
around some dungeon with a flashlight is creepy.
Yeah, there's good transitions where like you have that moment of total blackness because like the
Yeah.
light doesn't come on for a second. It's like you stop. It's like what's going on here? You got to be careful. Yeah. But like just the vibes of the castle, like going down like all these corridors. This looks like a good medieval castle. Like fireplaces with the fire still like roaring. Like bookshelves, the knights stacked everywhere to totally screw it. Like I told the Hebrew, I'm like shotgun train up every one of these motherfuckers. I'm like I don't trust any one of you. Like you're gonna move. Like nope. I know better than that. And just the the puzzles they put in there and the sequences, like how they're slightly changed. Like I loved. Okay, here's a small disappointment: the new night room. This was on my checklist of nightmare rooms.
Yeah, I remember.
Hell in a Cell was one of them. One of them did make it in there and was very pleased with how it did, which is in the castle later. But this one was the one that, like, while they looked cool, it was a little bit of disappointment. Give me way too much room to work with. Ashley obviously helping out. We already said how character-wise that's great, but it made that fight way less stressful and intimidating than the original version was. Oh God, like this is intense, but. Brad, they made up for it later on when you go in. I remember my favorite reset the room cheese room of all time, the double Gyarados room, where you used to just be able to walk in. If you didn't take a step forward, it didn't lock you in. You just be able to like bait them out, maybe do a few shots. They charge you, leave, come back. They kept the damage, never reset the damage. When you go in there, cutscene, boom, you are locked in there with them.
They probably saw you playing.
They literally saw like you playing.
yeah, you
like,
get locked in rooms
They're
more.
like, this is not. And like that when I turned to humor, I was like, oh, I just like froze. I was like, oh shit.
I think
here
you
we
get
go.
locked in the water room too now. I don't think you can go back out. Or
so
can
the,
you leave?
So the water room, because of the nature of the game,
Yeah.
this maybe showcases a little bit of the AI's restrictiveness. And enemies are not meant to run around like multiple zones. So like
Right.
They have to
early in
back
the
off.
village, like every major gate, like if you aggroed the bull dude with the thing in the farm area and
Yeah.
try to go back to the village, open that door and go into the
He'll
village,
just walk
he
away.
will start to back off.
Yeah.
There was a whole section leading up to the Chainsaw Sisters we even talked about, where that sequence in that valley, you could set off the alarm, back out, and they would reset. So the water room, that door does open, and Huber saw me do it. Literally, Huber was like, they're just
Yeah.
all bottlenecking. I'd shoot them, and like he was like, I was like, oh man, like that was a room that needed to like lock you. But they get you later because that's just wave one. You go through there.
Right.
They change it now. You got to go down to a lower level.
I did like that.
And once you do that, it begins. It's like, like you know,
Showtime.
you're locked in here with us.
Yeah.
Because as soon as
Yeah.
you come back up the stairs, there's archers all over the place now. They're rushing at you with the freaking shield, the riot gear, not riot gear, but shields,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
spike
yeah.
shields, and it's just like mayhem. And I was like, and then obviously. I think it was a change for the better. The Ashley doing the higher
crank?
level cranks. Some of them like it's a little bit more like tense. Before they just like would walk super slow, and if you had like sniper rifle, you just like take your time and then like turn shotgun blast one of the things. Now it can get like a little bit more. They would like kind of group up on Ashley. It's like oh shit, like and gotta be scared of hitting her now. So it's
Yeah.
like oh god, because the way she's in such a good change. She has no more health. It's
Right.
literally
Yeah.
she's in. You
Yeah,
gotta
I think it's much
resuscitate
down
her,
and yeah.
or she's out.
Yep,
that was
and
nice.
it's like you can't increase her health to like kind of like cushion her. So it's made that way more tense. So I
Yeah.
really appreciated that.
I agree.
Let's go back real quick.
Sure.
And you did bring up the Chainsaw Sisters.
Oh, back in the village, yeah.
Cool encounter. I did
Cool
like that
encounter.
encounter. I like
Yeah.
how they just cut through the wall right
Yeah.
off the bat.
Such a cool introduction.
Super sick. I found cheese in there though, Damiani.
That
Big cheese.
That was my other disappointing arena. The original one
It was
is
an
way
arena.
more close and
Yeah.
like it felt like how it like you couldn't really run away from them
Felt like a
for
fight
too
pit.
long.
Yeah.
yeah. This is like you had all the room in the world
Yeah.
to like run around,
Yeah.
and it's like all right. But also one of the few points that let you like actually hide Ashley. 'Cause I get it.
Yep.
Like it would be too easy to lose track of her.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
a chainsaw too? Just
Yeah,
like
one
she's
hit,
dead.
she's dead. Yeah,
Yeah.
They clearly knew what they're doing, but still love the vibes of that encounter. Like
Yeah.
Leon got his quips still. Like, sorry, I'm a one lady man or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
kinda
I'm
guy,
flattered,
yeah.
but I'm a one lady type of guy.
Yeah, I did
was
like that. Quick shout out to Ashley in the sense that you don't need to catch her all the time like
No.
you did in the first game.
But
way less maintenance with her this time. She would jump down stuff. She would climb stuff. Thank
love
God.
it. But if you
Yeah.
do, she had her nice reward. She was like skills.
Yeah, skills.
Also, like we haven't gotten to it yet. At a later point, if you don't wait for her, she gets kind of annoyed when you make her jump down. But if you jump down for her, she's like, she's like, good on you for doing
Yeah.
that. So
Thanks,
like
Leon.
realistic, like some points, like hey, you're being an asshole, leaving me behind.
Yeah.
But also, one good thing about the Ashley change, no more forgetting her. It's like. Leon, or
Oh,
like
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
or like
She'll
going to the
just
door, and
follow
it's
you.
like you gotta wait for
Help me,
Ashley.
Leon.
Yeah,
Like,
she'll just follow
run
you.
up to you.
Help me, Leon.
One thing I did
Stuck
like
in my
I
head
noticed
forever.
is when she's wearing the armor, Damiani, and you do catch her, Leon does the back.
Oh, and this sword, I haven't seen that yet. Okay, I just unlocked that.
It just goes like, you see
That's
her hand.
great.
It's,
That's
it's just a
great.
little bit, but
Love
it's
that
still there.
touch.
I was like,
Details.
oh, yeah, very cool to see.
Old Snake vibes.
Yeah. I don't really have like too much thoughts on this, but I'm kind of curious with you, Huber, and you too, Brad, but especially Huber, because like he loves his character. How they did the Hunnigan conversations
Loved Hunnigan, nice.
over that.
Yeah.
Like I felt like gave her more lines. I feel
Totally.
like. I mean, there was a lot of lines before, but also like the payoff.
Yes.
The payoff when she comes through later on.
I felt I felt like she was our guardian angel, you know, and that is exactly the feeling you want with Hunnigan. Is like anytime she would check in, giving us advice, even little shit like, "Yo, dude, the storm's coming," and then Leon comments like, "Yo, Hunnigan was right.
Yes, that's
shit's
okay.
getting all crazy." Just like the like she's looking out for us.
I like,
And I really, really like
the
that.
persistence.
Yeah.
I like the
persistence,
payoff
yeah,
of that.
yeah.
But maybe you too, Brad. When you get to the castle, since we're talking about the castle now, you don't get the same kind of hijacked line thing anymore, where like Salazar's coming in, like the banter between Leon and Salazar, like the
You're
cheesy
small
stuff.
time.
Like you don't
get
trophy names now,
get
which
that,
is cool.
and you get that through the boss
I was gonna say
dialogue.
you get more of that in the
But
bosses.
do you miss any of that, like at all? Like
no,
like,
not so much because like I think it's fun like talking on a codex thing, but it is kind of like goofy, you know, and it just be like Metal Gear Solid Codex kind of thing for a little bit. I think it's totally appropriate for the time. I prefer how it is more now because it's just like them talking to each other face to face. I really like he talks through that like speaker thing he has through the castle.
Oh,
yeah.
I love that.
That's how.
Yes.
So I was gonna say, I'm glad you remember that because I like that way more because that's pretty much what the conversation had been. But it's like he's just being a menace, monitoring you to his
Absolutely.
castle. It's like a
Resident Evil Resistance.
literally about to say that. Or, they're like he's the monitor,
The mastermind.
sending all.
Yo,
the
when are they
shit
gonna add him? It's not a dead game.
Dude,
Is
at
it a
the
dead
castle,
game?
It is.
It might be
I
a
think
dead
it might be dead.
Damn it.
But yeah, like just good changes to the castle too.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole rampart section,
Really
running
cool.
on, like the walls and stuff.
Yeah,
with
that
the
was fun.
Freaking
The switches you'd pulled for the doors. Yeah, that was
like
super
that
cool.
whole section. I was like, dude, this is.
I
like,
was always fond of the like dragon things coming down with flames. That part.
Oh, that room? Yeah, that was
I was
fun.
always fond of that.
the lava room got axed.
Understandable cut.
Lava room was cool.
Yeah.
I was like kind of hoping the lava room would be in, but you know,
Separate ways, maybe. Who knows?
Separate ways. Who knows? Yeah, it could be
maybe
more
all
than the
these
castle.
rooms are
We
a
don't know.
different
Yeah.
I did love the room / encounter where so you go in and you see like the bodies sitting there. There's like a bunch of people like corpses sitting there and there's like the one with the head sprouted
That
up.
religious cultist.
Then you hear
shit.
Oh God, yes,
you
that
hear
new
the
enemy.
glory to Las Plagas, glory to Las
Gloria
Plagas. And you
Las
see the red one.
Plagas.
And it's like, he's got that lantern. You need that shit.
Dude.
So you got to fucking hightail it to him, all while he's making everyone explode, getting their heads cracked out. Really cool encounter. I loved that.
Same,
fucking
Brad.
with you too, because you got like the just inopportune moments, like you're aiming and it lands. Oh my
Yeah,
head,
it
like,
flicks Leon.
dude.
That's so cool.
I was like, they were like priority number one. I like love that change that enemy because otherwise they're the ringleader. Just like they just had like the little like deer head antler thing, and that was like took a little bit
They
more
would just like
damage
run.
to kill.
You're trying to get them. They're running away.
So good with
So
that
much better.
change. Like really appreciated it. Like made you like really work to get them down. Like just a great change. Like they appear like several other times too.
Yeah.
And they're like really
When you're
good
going up the
strategic-
clock tower, they're
Oh,
there
when
and
you
stuff.
go back on that side quest,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
to unlock some,
Yeah.
there's you go back to the main lobby,
Yep, they're
and there's like
waiting there.
6 of them
Yes.
waiting in
Yeah.
the. Oh
Yes.
my god,
It's really
Again,
good.
the
Awesome.
backtracking this part is. I think this had better backtracking than even the village. Like they really accounted for a lot of stuff, throwing in
Yeah.
like new waves of enemies.
the Golden Knight quest was so
Oh,
sick.
God, yes.
That one's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, like speaking of
You
that,
just see some like red eye, dude. It's
Dude.
so sick.
It's cool when you're Ashley, you see that night there.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Ashley's whole segment is like so much better.
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
much better.
So much better.
I really like her segment this time around. It was really cool.
too. And I thought of replaying like other Resident Evil games, and there's always that section that people like don't want to replay. I was thinking of like House Beneviento,
Yeah.
and then I draw a blank. There's something
Well,
in 7 as
like
well.
well, think of like in 2, where you play Sherry or whatever.
Yeah,
like
2
that,
and
or,
Sherry,
or,
yes,
or,
yes.
or Ada
Oh,
or something.
yeah.
Yes. And I thought of just like replaying the Ashley
Mia
sections.
is what you're thinking of from 7.
Yes.
The Mia part.
Yes. And I think when they were doing this too, they were just like looking at that and looking at how people like respond to replaying certain sections.
Well, what's great about that section is if you know the code for the clock, you can
Yeah.
skip some of it.
Yeah, more speedruns
comes at a cost though.
You don't get
Locks you
treasures.
out of
Yeah.
so much treasure.
Yeah, it
if
just
you do
depends.
that. They did.
But if you're just going for speed run stuff,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, but like that's the trade off.
Sick.
But it's there, which is cool. And the library itself is super cool. I
Yeah.
like that. The knights lurking around and everything.
Really
super
cool.
fun. Really cool
Scattered
section.
books everywhere. I like that you had the 4 different keys.
yeah,
Me too.
that was fun. The garden, the maze.
Yeah.
How'd you?
maze.
Yeah, how do you feel about this implementation?
I'm a huge Zombies Ate My Neighbors fan. Damiani, I think I told you this. I wanted one chainsaw man in there. Just one. I think a chainsaw wielding maniac in a hedge maze is iconic. Missed opportunity.
I think that's a fair play. Yeah.
I thought,
I'm half serious, half kidding. But I loved this section because I loved that it was with Ashley this time.
yeah. And I was like,
That was
I was
cool,
like,
yeah.
wait a
Yeah.
second, she's coming with me. I was like,
Yeah.
uh-oh.
That was a nice change. Yeah.
You know, what you're probably thinking of didn't Castlevania 64?
Yes, it
Tetris
does.
have the
It does.
chain?
It does.
Yes.
It does, yeah.
Love that shit.
Or the Frankenstein monster or whatever. Yeah.
The flags are new, right?
Love
Yeah,
the
so
flags,
you
dude.
don't get the 2 emblems anymore.
Right,
You have to
that's
go
what
to
the
3
trick.
spots instead of 2. Although the first one's like a give me. It's just like right in the front there to like explain what you got to do.
Flags are like weirdly comforting. I don't know. They would flop
It was a
down
nice,
and
nice flapping noise in
Yeah.
the wind.
Yeah.
Very soothing.
Yeah.
I like that.
Seriously.
I thought there'd be more dogs. Like you wanted a chainsaw. I thought there'd be like more menacing dog opportunities. Like
Sure.
there definitely were a handful. They're good, and they still had like the ones in like the cages and stuff. And like you actually like you don't shoot them. One of them they don't ever come out because like if you do shoot it, Ashley like screams like, "Why
Yeah.
would you release them?" It's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, in the original they was
He says like they're easy to deal with this way or something like that.
yeah. I did like
Love
how they
their banter.
Loved how I did like how they tried to change up one of them where you activate it and then all of a sudden like they rush Ashley. You have to leave Ashley behind to do the objective, and then you got to race back to meet up with her, or else she'll get like carried away. So
It was so frantic.
yeah, I was kind of expecting the second one to have something similar, and it's just like nah, it's just like there. So like could have used a little bit more tension, like something like a missing thing. Maybe not chainsaw Freako, but
I think the tension part is when you have Ashley hold the door
Yep.
and you
and
anything,
that's- yeah,
then they
when-
come in.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's like I guess their tension part, but I see what you're saying.
I mean they do that later on in the island very well too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh my god.
After the hedge maze is my favorite part of the castle, which is the hallway with the statues, where you get the 3-headed statues. So
Yep.
you
Yep.
go in the main hallway and you have 3 different
Love
ways you
that
could
area.
go. One way is to the knights. The other one is the dining room. I really like the dining room puzzle.
Dining room
that was
puzzle was my favorite
that was a
puzzle.
cool
It was so
puzzle.
cool.
Favorite puzzle in the whole
So
game.
small, but I just liked it. It was
Same.
a cool space to be in.
Yep.
Then, of course, the room with the elevated bridge that comes up, which is really fun.
A redo of that room.
Yeah, now that I know you could throw a grenade early,
Yeah,
too.
I saw
That's so funny.
Sphere Hunter.
So it,
Sphere Hunter, dude, she threw a fucking grenade at the person who's doing the switch. Bypass that whole thing.
it won't go down. It
won't
can
go
just
down.
stay up.
Yeah. Yep.
I shot rocket launchers over there and blew that area. It killed the Las Plagas. The
You have
Glorious
to do
Plagas.
it before the cutscene triggers. Like you have to throw it and get close to the cutscene triggers. The guy comes out, then it'll get blown up.
Oh, so you need him to show up.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
because I did it. I've done
That's sick.
it. It's just
Okay.
a cool little trick.
Okay, that's pretty
So
sick.
you can
many
just
tricks.
run up and yeah. But anyways, if you
Cool.
play that normally, you don't know that. I think it's really cool. They like
Yeah.
expectations, dude. In the original
Yeah,
game, you come
yeah.
from the other side, and it's like
Yeah.
them lowering this now is so cool, dude. And you got the red guy going blah 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 blah. Awesome.
Freaks coming at you with a scythe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, the scythe, the dodge.
Backflip.
Yeah.
It's so dope.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's so dope.
Yeah, it's fun. But
Backflip into shotgun blast.
Yeah.
It's just.
then you kind of go underground, go to the mines, as far as I'm aware. Luis, baby.
Luis shows
Luis,
up.
love getting more Luis this time around. He gets
Hell
taken
yeah.
out earlier in the original game.
Yeah.
And he's cool in the original game. You don't get a lot of time with him.
No.
You don't get a lot
Yeah.
from him. He's just some kind of guy and he dies. And you're like, why am I supposed to care? You were Sketch, kind of.
Yeah.
But like this time he's like with you and fighting with you.
Gives you that
And he, like,
umbrella
make-
connection.
Yep.
That and like he ultimately like his like what he was doing, the payoff to like do something good pays
Yeah.
off. Like
it makes me feel better.
yeah, like you get
Yeah.
like, a specific line after removing Las Plagas later on. I'm like, this was all Luis's doing. It's like, dude, the payoff like so sick.
Key.
Gives you
Yeah,
that
the
key.
the key
way
Hours later.
Yeah.
So good. Like you don't forget about him. Yeah. Like love how his death comes to the hands of someone else different. It's not
Bigger
freaking-
impact.
Not Goofy the Saddler coming in with his like, you know, one of his
Tentacle
tentacle
shit.
mutations to stabbing him randomly to take the sample. It's Krauser.
Yeah.
You know,
Knife
we
in
talk
the
about
back.
Krauser, but like yeah, Krauser, which you know just fits his arc so well. But yeah, the
Totally.
mine carts, man,
Love
the
the
mines.
minecart, dude. I was thinking Donkey Kong so much.
Please, minecart DLC. Dude, what if there's a could they do a Minecraft in Mercenaries or a minecart in Mercenaries somehow?
Maybe.
Maybe
Like an entire stage where it's just minecars. Please do it, Capcom. Please.
Yeah, it like sort of switches to go different routes and like maybe has like better
Please.
bonuses.
Yeah.
Please, I'm begging you, Capcom. Please.
Oh yeah, it was so much better, so much better than the original one. The original one is literally one of 2 parts. I was like, I hope they change this part. This and then like the Ashley driving the truck. were,
Oh
like, the
my
2
God,
parts.
I
I'm
was
like,
so glad
I was like,
that's gone,
please.
yeah.
Like, but then the trailer early revealed minecart was way different. So multiple track. I'm like, okay, and Luis is with you. That's gonna be way better.
Mm-hmm.
But we got no hint about the truck part really like what they did instead of that and like completely axing it. This game just did such a good job of merging multiple different concepts of the original game into like a new room or a new sequence and like paid
I liked
dividends.
having him in the Gigante fight too, the 2v2 one.
yeah.
I really loved that, and I loved because everyone you're like they're on top of the thing. You're like, I'm just gonna pull this fucking switch. They're done.
Damiani didn't do it the first time. I was so mad he missed it.
Ugh.
Because they like back away.
Yeah, they back away.
So awesome.
Avoided it.
Because in the original game, it's
You
so
didn't fall for
easy to get like the first one. You like ride that thing down, and you just whoop, see ya.
Yeah.
This is the arena that this one benefited from having a larger arena, and
Mm-hmm.
also I think they saw that like if people didn't know about the Switch, like having two of them come at you is like a little maybe too much for a person. So having Luis for the first part at least be able to distract one of them while you go one-on-one
Pulling
with
that
one.
aggro.
Yeah, which is nice. But as soon as you take one down, it's like the other one's like, I'm coming, like you kill my brother, I'm coming for you type thing. It's like,
I love shooting it in the mouth.
Yeah.
Oh.
Luis gets the dynamite and puts it on his back.
Oh gosh, yeah, if you
Super
take
cool.
too long, I did.
Where the hell are you going?
Yeah.
It's so sick.
Just good
God, their
dynamic with
banter.
them. Yeah, their
Ugh.
banter.
It was sick.
So
it was
good.
good. Feel good moment. But the Krauser fight, dude, so much better. Instead of a QTE, dude,
One of my favorites in this.
so
game.
fun.
Yep.
Super basic, but super cool. Great dialogue between them.
Intimate.
It's very intimate. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Operation
Two dudes, two knives.
Javier. Calling it out.
Yeah, you cannot use anything but a knife in that
Yo.
fight. The only fight that restricts you like that to the
we need
knife only.
We need Separate Ways DLC and we need Operation Javier DLC. Fuck it right now, Capcom. Make it co-op. Make it co-op. Operation Javier. Giving us some OG co-op Resident Evil stuff. It'd be a perfect fit. And it's always my favorite thing. Like a multiplayer DLC for a single player game. Like we have so much single player content. I think that would be a nice fit.
If 5 is next on the docket, I could see that.
Little prototype.
Yeah. I already felt like it was a little bit of prototype with Luis kind of fighting with you,
Yeah.
like AI and stuff.
Totally.
I thought of that, and I thought of Zero.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, please. Not Zero.
Yeah, Code Veronica next.
Code Veronica. But yeah, you're not. Code Veronica, you're alone most of the time, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
One small disappointment
Mm-hmm.
is because we kind of passed over both instances of it.
Mm-hmm.
The no Vista doors.
Are these the bug boys?
bug dudes.
Okay.
I think their original reveal is still the sequence in the sewers.
Oh,
it's
sure.
more like like because you have to go like it's so narrow pathing.
Yeah.
You hear it basically does what this Verdugo fight does with hearing like the sounds all around you. Like, oh god, is it here? Like, you're freaking out.
they're
Kinda
camo way
lacks
more.
that. Now, to be fair, they do camouflage stuff. Like you fight them like in the big open area. You fight them in the mines in there, and it's like that's like okay. Luis is also there to like call out a few of them, and then like you have the big room before going to the clock tower.
Yeah.
That one's a little bit more menacing because you have less movement options, I feel like, and like they camouflage a little bit better in there at some points. Like they're just like on a wall, you didn't like catch them.
I thought they were a little more relentless in this version, though, Damiani. They just keep coming.
Yes, once they're active.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that. Like I was expecting that moment of like I don't know, and you know what they tried to do? It was leading up to Verdugo fight. I'm like, you see the glowing eyes in the water. I'm like, really? Like I'm just gonna literally have my gun trained on the like no fake outs. They're all just in the water. You have your gun trained on the water. You're just as soon as you see the eyes, pull the trigger, bam. I'm like, damn, man. Like no, I was like, this is where they're gonna get me. I was like, finally they're gonna get me. I was like, oh,
Didn't get 'em.
missed opportunity at that point.
Fair.
But yeah, you're totally right. Once they're active, they're swarming around you, menaces.
So many. I just really love the Operation Javier tie-in.
Oh, yeah,
call
me too.
out. It's
Yeah.
just
More.
I'm obsessed with
Oh,
Resident
God.
Evil lore.
We'll get to
Yes.
that more as we go on.
Yeah.
But let's do the clock tower now. You get back up to the castle, you go into the clock tower. Like the clock tower sequence, super fun, dude. The spike ball,
Love that spike ball.
very Indiana
I
Jones.
sat there for a couple minutes.
yeah, watch some good Smash.
like a
It's
good
cool.
minute. I was like, yeah.
And
Keep
again,
pulling it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
And again, yeah, like you could like once
Yeah.
you get to a certain spot, like early on, you can look across. You could shoot the guy pulling the lever,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
really early. And I was like, I don't know if I want it. I want to keep pulling the lever. It's kind of fun.
When I kept pulling it and they stopped coming, I was like, all right, we'll see about that. I would like, I like
Tried it.
went down
Yeah.
a bit and then came back. I was like, are more gonna spawn? Because I'm ready. I'm ready to move.
So something I didn't know. I love how this room is like another great example of fusing multiple concepts together for this room. I mean, the dragon room with flaming heads, that's kind of this with that a little bit in here.
The fire, exactly.
But I didn't know this until a later playthrough. You know, you could shoot the statue and make it crumple down so it won't activate.
Did not know.
the Salazar
I hit it with an infinite rocket launcher, and I hit it with it, and it just falls. It crumples down one layer.
I think you have to use an explosive.
Yeah, and then it won't actively be the fire anymore.
So dope.
So
Does Salazar say anything?
No, he didn't say anything in response to that. But I was like, oh crap! Because my second play, are there switches? How are you supposed to get past this?
Yeah.
If, like you got to be a way to turn this off or something, and then like. Let me just shoot with the rocket launcher and like just see what happens. I'm like, what happens? I'm like, boom. I was like, oh, sick. But that whole sequence, man, yeah, the changing it from a Donkey Kong barrel to spiked ball, as you said.
Yeah.
So it's like
A little more scary.
You can't destroy it because of the barrel. If you had like your shotgun, you could like pull the trigger. You buy some time. And that elevator sequence, the lift
going
sequence,
up the elevator,
like,
really cool.
They made that.
Streets of Rage, dude. That's what I was thinking of the whole way. I like wanted to put on some Streets of Rage music when I was going up.
Especially when you like roundhouse some guy off it.
Boom! I was feeling it.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh yeah.
Then Salazar, man, the fight.
Going across those rafters, they got me. Huber was pleased with
The
that.
rafters?
Yeah.
I think the rafter gets everyone. It got me the first time too.
Oh yeah, and those we gotta call out the bear traps for being maybe the best placed traps in video game history. Sorry, Sen's Fortress.
Oh my gosh, they were nasty. Even knowing what to do, it's just like I still like at least
multiple times.
At least one every playthrough. I just get one. I'm like, oh shit, that one was there. I forgot about it.
So good
Because it is so
devious.
so many more of them, and there's this place in so many different like this is more volume of them. It's
There's a
insane.
lot of them. Yeah, they're just so well hidden.
Yeah.
So I want to know if there was like one bear trap dev who was in charge of that, or if it was a collaborative effort.
Right.
Because highest praise on that.
I think the one. What was your favorite one, Huber?
The very first one
The very first one.
is the best.
It's around that
That's
band.
a
Yeah.
good one. The one trying to get your weapons back is another good one. I feel like
The door. The door.
But, but for me, the best one because it's dirty because they purposely turned the camera away when the tower comes crashing down. Not in the first village fight, but later when the wolves first show up, and it comes crashing down to block your path. And you try and go back behind to like the well to go down. If you like the camera turns away, it's literally right there. The wolves up here. You get bear trapped immediately. The wolves are all around you. Like I was like, dude, what the shit? So good.
Yeah.
I was like, you dirty. I couldn't even see. You turned the camera away, and you're like, wolves there, run away, bud. Oh, it's right there. You didn't. But it's real. Like in real life, you'd be like, oh god, run. Oh shit. I was like, okay, that's pretty good. You got me there.
I like when you meet Salazar again at the end. You have Krauser actually taking away Ashley this time, which I think is cool. And he starts fucking yelling at you or some shit. Then Leon's just like, you talk too much. He just shoots him like twice.
Shoots him in the head, Brad.
No, taking no shit.
Because in the first one, he like fuses with it like dramatically and all slowly. This one's just like, bah, 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 and falls down. I think this boss fight's much better too than the original.
This is the most improved boss fight in all the remakes. This
one?
fight, 100%. Birkin is still my all-time favorite. I'm not saying this is my favorite. This is the most improved from the original version by far. By far. Because the
Way
original,
better.
like, you're standing there, you're shooting it, and you jump down, come back up, shoot some more. It's like, so... It's
Now
just-
you're like taking cover from that acid he's spitting and
he's
stuff.
flying all over the place.
Moving around.
original is like a torso boss.
It is.
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
a torso
It's
boss.
like it's like it
Devil
does
May
not
Cry.
it does not move from its fixed position.
Yeah.
You're just dodging obstacle things.
Is that what we call it? A torso boss?
I
Is
mean,
that-
that's MMO term for it,
Okay.
where it's just like something
I love
that's
that,
like
'cause I know,
doesn't
like,
move,
turret
it's
boss.
fixed- same thing, yeah,
Yeah.
fixed position where
Love
it doesn't move. But this one, it like literally like just like what was I wanted like it reminded me of something.
It reminded me of the things from the Matrix. You know, like those
thank
little
you,
black
thank you.
things.
Yeah,
The Sentinels, the Sentinels.
That's what it reminded me
Thank you. That's literally.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a sentinel scurrying around the damn wall and shit. I'm like,
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
It just stop moving, dude.
Yeah.
So can you shoot out like its sides to make it stop moving or something like that?
I
Or-
don't think so.
I didn't know if there's anything to restrict its
Not that
movement
I'm aware of.
temporarily.
I just know the new egg cheese.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. The
what?
gold egg. You like throw the gold egg at him.
Throw a gold egg at it, it does 70% damage. So what you do is you throw the gold egg, it stuns him, shoot him twice with the magnum, melee knife dead.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there it
You
is.
get the gold egg from the throne room
Yes.
because you get one
Yeah.
there in the treasure
Gold
box.
egg, 2 magnum shots, knife injection. Dead.
funny.
I will keep that in mind.
It's already downloaded,
Yeah.
baby.
That's
It's already downloaded.
That's how you grenade him. So when he goes down, that's the toss a grenade challenge. That's how you do it. Like when he goes down for the stab,
Yeah.
toss like 2 grenades. You'll get them off, and then he could stab him. But this is like okay.
This is the
Yeah.
cheese.
But that was an OG RE4. There were some enemies
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you
the
go for the
eggs.
stab prompt, but if you kept shooting them and then do it, you could get more damage off
Yeah.
of it. So I liked how they
Yeah,
retained
yeah.
that.
The rotten eggs, right?
Yeah.
Like take them out, dude. Love that shit.
But yeah, his like spraying patterns, like just changing, and like he does have like a second, not phase, but like he does have a point where he adds like
He adds, like, a new
He gets
step.
more frantic.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I like how angry he was during
me
the
too.
fight.
Me
For
too.
sure.
He was
Yeah.
pissed. It was good.
Yeah.
And then it's everyone's favorite part, dude. The island.
Which is way better
It's
now.
way better than I remember.
better.
one quick thing.
Yes.
I want to give shout outs because you both experienced it on hardcore. Shout outs to the changes in difficulty from assist and standard to hardcore and professional.
Yeah.
Not just straight difficult changes, but content changes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the boat to go to the island, you have the stationary knights that try and swing at you.
Yeah.
And I was like, my playthrough, I'm like, I guess it wouldn't make sense to be in there. So I was playing on standard, but you guys on hardcore and me, when I play on professional,
Yeah.
they show up there and just like come out of nowhere. I'm like, dude, what
Yeah,
the
there's
hell?
two
Like, that's
stragglers.
sick. But changing puzzles. Like I loved how like the one where you have to flip the stones and like the the cross panel thing. The position of the stones is different in, I'm guessing, hardcore and professional. They're not in the same locations. So
Sick.
they do stuff like
Small
that.
tweaks, yeah.
Remix.
I like that. Like
Yeah, me
the
too.
content changes for puzzle solutions and puzzle sometimes layouts and orders of things was kind of nice.
That's awesome.
Well, let's talk about the island. Like the first encounter, really, whatever on the island with the turrets that you got to move
Yeah.
to sneak around. What did you guys think about all that? It's pretty
Loved
similar.
it.
There's not the chain gun guy anymore.
Yeah, just the bull dude with
the bull dude who's still a threat. He's
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
now. Good.
Yeah.
Still like not my favorite stuff in the game, but it's better for sure.
I think because enemies didn't have guns was the main.
They had guns in the original?
They do,
Yeah.
and you can
Yes.
like cover.
Yeah.
And the rudimentary cover-based mechanics.
That makes sound way better already. Way
Yes.
better. This version.
way better. So by removing all the enemies' guns, except obviously the bull guy, they kept in the spirit of that, which was cool. It just made it a lot better.
Are you not thinking of already 5?
Am I thinking of 5?
5 has enemies with guns and cover system, like you are that pop out. RE4,
I might be thinking of 5.
Yeah, only JJ had the gun. That's the
Yeah.
model's
The
name.
minigun, you're
the
right,
Minigun.
you're right.
But like there were archers and stuff shooting at
Yeah.
you constantly, and then there were there
bad.
were also people mounted turrets as well that could
That's
shoot at you.
yep.
There's
But
a
there-
little of
There's
that.
no
of
one
that.
there's no one like
Yeah.
wielding machine gun shooting back at you.
I was thinking of 5.
However, I think they made some really good like kind of adjustments here, like trimming some of the fat here, kind of like doing like cosmetic surgery, like a little bit of like a facelift.
Totally.
Yeah.
They left it
And
like
leaning into the stealth, like fucking Shadow Moses.
yeah,
It's
the
like-
stealth, going a little bit more into horror in some parts, like the regenerator section. Like I think
Regenerate section was good.
yeah, and I think it actually in the end cutting out the whole section underground and the boss might have like helped the pacing
It
there.
did. It absolutely did.
'Cause
Sure.
sometimes the island you just feel like it drags out a little bit.
It does.
And
It's
I-
much more manageable this time.
Adding a puzzle element to that first part with the turret guns, helps that like beginning area feel a little bit like different. It's not just about like chaos of a bunch of enemies rushing at you. It's
Yeah.
now, oh god, I gotta like figure out how to get through this area as well.
Yeah.
That sequence later on where going up like kind of like the not like through the cliff, the narrow part where the dude now shoots at you with a rocket launcher when you trigger the thing and they get there. That part's like got way less enemies, but it still had like the secret barrel blowing up the wall thing. Like they kept enough, but like it didn't feel overbearing. I feel like the original version of the island had just too many enemies being thrown at
many.
you, where you felt like you're pinned down a lot.
Yeah.
It was about overwhelming.
It let you
numbers.
breathe a bit.
Yeah.
There were meaningful cuts for sure, and I like the miniguns and like turning them off and just all the lasers and like, the little. I was thinking of the deleted scene in Aliens, the turret gun. I was like,
Oh yeah, I heard one finally go off when an enemy walked into its path because I was like waiting for it to happen. I'm like, just one, and finally I was like, finally made that happen. Yeah, like
And shooting out the spotlights.
yeah.
Thought a solid snake, of course.
And I love how there's a visible, audible alarm that goes off, and people start rushing. Like I mean, obviously I said earlier in the village leading up to the Chainsaw Sisters, they did something similar, but it keeps continuing like that. But going into like the base compound, like having to like once you get inside very early on, just having to like rescue Ashley. Like I love how it's like feels like more strategic placement of enemies.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
I also liked the lore about like Krauser setting up the island. Just like, yo, we don't have enough supplies here. We'll do what we can, patch here, blah, blah, blah. Like, Krauser setting up the defenses.
And saying, like, it's only temporary. Like, this is going to fall eventually.
Yeah.
So loved that. And I loved how the island was, expanded upon for Sadler's background. About this island where, like, basically they, like, a refuge and stuff. And, like, they're coming back to reclaim. Like, everything.
They were chased away.
Yeah.
Cold.
Like, that was so good to have that.
That was really nice, yeah.
Yeah, it made the island like connect to the rest of the game better.
It connected much better,
For
I would
sure.
say.
A few more puzzles. I know you two. We haven't really talked about some of the like
Those fucking laser
puzzles.
ones.
So like the terminal puzzles.
Yeah.
The flip.
I had a hard time at first with them, but then I really grew to like them.
Yeah. They are good.
But they are
but they're
harder
tricky.
on other difficulties.
Yeah, Hebert, another thing, they changed the puzzle.
Yeah,
the
they're
the hardest one, they changed the solution. You cannot do the work backwards thing. They actually found a way where you have to I did that. I'm like, wait a second. Oh, let me go. I tried some different options and
Crazy.
didn't take me that long, but I was like, ooh, they got me a little bit there. Also, we'll say the one that a lot of people get stumped on earlier in the village. The hexagon one.
Yeah.
Love that one.
Do you know how
There's
easy
like
solution
you
is?
can do in two things.
It's left up. And that's it, and it's done.
Yeah,
two
you can do it really
presses, and it's
fast.
done. I was like, oh.
With the regenerator,
Yeah.
I liked it when it had the wrench inside it.
Yes.
Was that the original?
No.
Okay,
No,
I like that.
no.
That was cool.
You don't
Because
get an
like you
item.
see these guys, you come into these guys after dealing with those two freaks already, and you see 4 locked up, and you're like, oh god, dude, please don't come out. Please don't bust out of here. Yeah. You see the thing, you're like, okay, cool. Then you get to it, and it's like, uh-oh, I don't have the right item, dude. Then you see it in them, and you're like, no.
You're like, oh,
So
we're gonna have to
dope.
do this, dude. Love how the key card now is like a time thing. So it's like the first one,
Yeah.
the freezer triggers.
Oh my God, you get locked-
You're coming
yeah.
in, locked in with them. But like the second one, as you said, if you don't after you find the wrench, you have to deal with one of them. But like more soldiers run in, stray bullet hits one of those
That's
incubation tubes.
Gets insane.
More come out.
Clear
There's
'em out,
4 of them
dude.
in there.
Clear 'em out.
But
That's what I
saw
do.
the payoff if you deal with them sooner. When you go deal with the
Yeah.
super one for the quest later,
Yep.
he doesn't have his henchmen with him. He just
Yep.
deal with the super one. I was like,
That was insane. That was insane on the
Oh,
playthrough.
that's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just really well done with that part.
Yeah.
The
They lived
regenerators-
up. They lived up to the hype. A lot of expectations for those enemies, and they were implemented perfectly. The first reveal, walking in the darkness by, was so good. Like you said, with the wrench, the anticipation of like, okay, I'm gonna shoot here, and it's gonna pop out.
Them hiding in the bags later on.
Hiding in the
Because
bags.
that section in the original game, you can just run past the abandoned gel area or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
You just run past it. It's like no big deal. Now it's like, not only can you not, I mean, you technically can walk past them.
Yeah.
But you gotta you gotta rotate the wheel. Love those new rotate the wheel,
Yeah.
and you have a certain amount of time to get there. But when a professional, you can't make one mistake running back to that door. You clip like one crate or something, time's up.
And then obviously the freaking Iron Maiden, like the
Oh my god, yes.
were insane.
That encounter where you have to have Ashley
Yes.
wheel the thing and hold it. and
That's
you're on the
so
other side.
hard.
So that's the one I'm
Yes, one of the
talking about.
hardest
Like
parts.
that one paid
One of the
off
hardest parts in the game.
so well. And you know what they do in professional, dude? Maybe they did this on hardcore too. So they rush at her. They rush at her when you flip the switch to change the power.
Yeah.
And you're gonna sit there and like kill them all if you're good enough.
Yeah.
And then when you move, like she'll say, "Okay, it looks like it's clear," and you move
Then the
on, and then the
regenerator
regenerator
pops out. Yeah.
But I don't know if they do this on hardcore for you. I don't know if you actually kill
More
them.
enemies come.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
enemies
Yeah, yeah,
come.
More enemies come. More enemies come.
On standard, it didn't
Yeah.
do that with me.
More
Like,
enemies come.
Like after you kill the if you stay
Yeah.
and kill the regenerator, you start going more rush at her. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, although did we do it on our playthrough when I came across and she dropped the regenerator into the
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's
And
cool.
she says a quip of there's a quip.
Oh, really?
And
That's
she's
cool.
just like, boom, and it's
That's super cool. I love
Yeah.
That was still
Yeah.
the best, man.
yeah.
that. So we don't have the part with Ashley driving the truck now,
Nope.
but we have the crane ball back in a different kind of way. She's using like a. In the first one is like a very
Wrecking ball.
small room with a wrecking ball, but now it's like you're out on a platform,
They
she's
merged,
driving
yeah.
it, dude. Pretty fun, dude. Having her smack that. I guess if you throw grenades at the wall too, it makes it.
Yeah. So infinite rocket launcher.
This isn't what the hell, dude? The hive mind is just like blowing my
Hubert,
mind.
I didn't know
is
about this. And I had
Crazy.
infinite rocket launcher. I'm like,
That is
can
awesome.
I shoot this wall? So I started shooting it, and the first time she smashes the thing, it was over. She broke the hole, and like that was it. We left. We only like killed the initial enemies.
Yeah,
and no other
how
waves of
crazy is
enemies.
that?
I was like, wait, what? That
That's
works.
a good one. That's
Yeah,
another
I
good one.
I didn't know about that.
So you don't have to
Holy
like
moly.
wait there forever for her. Although one of those challenges is nasty. Kill 5 enemies with the wrecking ball.
I don't think it needs to be on one playthrough.
Are you sure?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay, well,
I
I
don't
did
think
it on
so.
one playthrough.
Yeah, you don't
And I was
think
like
it has
hiding
to.
them,
Yeah.
dude. It was on, and this was
Yeah.
on assisted. Just getting them to line up correctly was so frustrating. I was like, oh, please, just like I use so much healing items. I was like, god damn, just like get killed by this, please.
Let's talk about Sadler actually himself. We haven't really talked about him. He seems like way more intense, I guess, in this one. And I think his like weird, fucked up head.
He's literally got the crazy like cultist.
Oh, he
thing
played the
down.
cultist
Yeah.
persona.
And he like doing his
Flawlessly.
powers, dude, on you and stuff.
yeah.
Stopping you.
Like
Yeah.
way
Wow.
more sadistic in terms of like the sequences where he takes control of both of you and like
Yeah.
those like the dramatic, like it was literally Psycho Mantis with Meryl
was.
scene.
It
and,
was.
like,
Yeah,
when they
he's
get
not
the
having
Amber.
a goofy codex
Yeah.
conversation with you this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
He is a good villain. He's not my favorite.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
I think Nikolai. You know, I'm still riding high on Nikolai from Remake 3. I thought like in terms of like the big bad of the game, because all the side characters are always so sick, but like the big bad, you know.
yeah.
I thought Sadler was like the weakest out of all the
Gotcha.
big bads. Yeah, but I still thought this version was good. The Mark Strong energy, you know, reminded me of Mark Strong, and just like. You know, seeing him in the visions, I love.
Yeah, I thought that was
like,
cool.
All that stuff is
communicating
really
with you through that
Yeah.
some Genova
yeah.
shit.
and his like freaking folk horror hench
yeah.
ladies with like the white, like those
yeah.
were so freaky.
Menacing.
Yeah, they
that
were
was a
very-
great moment. One of Sadler's best scenes is when
Oh, he's gonna make
Ashley
Ashley
has
shoot
the
him.
pistol. Really
Yeah.
strong scene. I just don't think there's not enough for Sadler's character to like, you know,
Because-
whereas like Nikolai is mysterious, but he's like a mercenary and it makes sense and he's all about the cash and it's like, okay, I guess that's like enough of a motivation to me to get invested in. I'm a
Well,
little
for
biased.
him, it's his family.
His family.
Yeah, his family like taking back power and going back to
yeah.
the. They're
Getting-
defeated by Salazar's family before.
Yeah.
Now it's like revenge kind of
yeah,
thing.
and, like,
Global saturation.
having
Yeah.
like the researchers like learning about like them perfecting the super plagas that
Yeah.
like could leave their hosts like with higher functioning brains, so like
The
they
control
could,
plaga, yeah.
It was like there was
Revenge,
something, but I
it's
think
like-
maybe the
Revenge is your favorite thing.
I
Hubert,
know, but like
I think what
for
it's
this
hard-
one, I don't know.
It's hard to compete in the sequence of the island because you also have Krauser.
Exactly.
And like the
Krauser
whole
steals
build
a
up to
lot of the
Krau-
shine.
Yeah. Like
Because Krauser's for revenge too.
Yeah,
You know?
Krauser's like at least 50% of the island's like the plot development, like
Yeah.
having like the clues dropped about him, the
Yeah.
whole sequence like going up to like the tent, listen to audio tape, and then
Love that
then that fight, man.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, the Krauser fight this time.
yeah.
Really cool. Really awesome going through it with him just kind of like setting traps for you.
The
and stuff like that,
darkness part.
taunting you.
Yes.
Okay, the darkness part is like
He's
yeah.
like, watch your back.
Yeah.
Or whatever, like comes at you,
Yeah.
dude.
Like, you
so
think, like your
sick.
exposed back out, like he'll sneak up from behind you. It was very like thinking about it, like it's still really well done. Even like replaying it, it's really good. I will say I was slightly bummed out that like because the knife. It would have been really cool if they like forced you to do like a knife parry fight again, but with his mutated
For
form.
the final
'Cause it's
phase, 100% I agree.
Intimidating.
100%
It's a close
I agree.
quarters.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I literally thought
Yeah.
like I didn't think to check, but I'm like, dude, this is like okay. Let me use weapon stuff up to now. This is
Yeah.
it. This is the honorable fight. And then Hebert's like, but dude, you can use your like gun. I'm
You
like,
can use your
oh
guns, yeah.
shit. I was
Yeah.
like, I really thought you were supposed to like because you're learning it because
Yeah.
he has the telegraphs. Like you could duck under his grab.
Yep.
You could parry. He had the 2 different like frontal attacks.
Yeah,
You could parry.
I guess just because in the original one you shoot him too.
Exactly. I should have known better.
They gave you one knife fight. Maybe they didn't want to do too
Yeah,
much. I thought that would have been cool too. But
Yeah, it was probably like focus tested, or maybe they were like, "Yo, we don't want to like force the players into one thing."
What else is there? Bear trap in that sequence. There is
Yeah,
a bear
there is-
trap in
there
that
is.
sequence when you're going around the curved bend and the first turret gun's there. There is a bear
It's
trap.
so good. It's so good.
they know. Yeah, you get his knife, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Was it who was complaining about that? Was it you, Damiani? We're like, what's this knife or something like that? Someone was upset that
think it was Damiani.
Leon didn't have the knife like he
Yeah.
did in OG4.
I think you said
And
that.
then me and Huber just looked at each other.
Yeah, it was
we
for
knew.
Damiani is the only one who would say that for sure.
Oh, okay. Earlier, you mean?
Yeah.
When he first started, kind of.
I got you. I was also a little bummed that he said like there was no line from Leon that said like Krauser used to be one of the good guys or something.
Yeah.
That's
Good guy.
That's like an achievement though, or
It
something.
is. So that's
A lot of those lines are tied in.
Your
yeah.
small time is an achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really well done. Really good fight. And I was glad there was like no countdown sequence. I know people like the time thing kind of like maybe threw some people off because there are other time sequences in
Yeah,
this game.
and you didn't
so-
have to collect stuff really during the fight.
because
the
like
pieces.
this didn't feel like it was about like time. This was like a gauntlet. Like
Yeah.
Krauser wanted to make sure you were worthy, testing you.
Yeah.
And then like the speech at the end where he's
It's
like,
so good.
I did all this because you're now ready, Leon. And he's like, dude, like. You know, he could be like trying to rationale, but like he's on his deathbed. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm proud. He's like, I'm proud of you. I know I did this shitty stuff, but like, I always want, like, deep down, I wanted you to surpass me, and you've made me happy
Done
at
it,
the
Leon.
end.
When Leon leaves too after, and you just see him, he's like not happy about it.
Yeah.
He's not happy.
Not happy.
So
Good
great.
stuff.
Yeah, and then there's like just one more gauntlet kind of thing running through where they throw like the bug guys at you, then the bull boys. You like have to hit a switch, then then you go back.
The Mike. Yeah, Mike sequence.
Oh, Mike sequence.
Yeah,
That's
like,
before
they
that.
brought that back.
They did bring back Mike.
Also,
You're right.
you got the rocket launcher, that turret thing. You could shoot it early.
Yep.
When it shows up, and Mike will come right back and help you out for all the hard. He'll actually bypass and shoot the gate sooner.
Yeah, just
so you don't
some
have to,
fun new game plus stuff.
But like
Sick.
again, just mixing up that part, so it's like not this exact same like
Yeah.
pathing. It's like I'm gonna go a slightly different route here. This is like I will say that I think. The original version of the turret gun part, where there's where you have to deactivate the
two
switches,
and-
was a little bit more challenging in the original one. But I think it was a little bit more BS in that one. This
Yeah.
one felt a little bit more fair.
Yeah,
you
I
could
agree.
draw enemies out. You could be more like. But that's the thing.
You can be a little more methodical.
A game
yeah.
with like about like you can do stealth kills. There better be options to be methodical. So I think it
Yeah.
fit in
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the game design choices very well.
And poor Mike goes down again.
So interesting. It's not an RPG. It's the Novista.
Yeah, it is weird.
It's like it felt like
Bug
the
Boys?
Sorry, don't want to spoil another thing, but like there was another in the last year or so movie where bugs were kind of like became like the big plot point, and I was like, oh no, don't pull that or something. But like it ended up being fine. It was fine. Because like they also swarm around him at the end too, like in the final fight, they show up as well.
Yeah.
Good, kind of a good addition because like it's menacing.
It
Like
is.
it's already dealing with all that shit, but yeah,
Yeah,
Novista
the bugs
doors.
are a big part of the lore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
like you
There.
said, that sequence
what I
going up
liked.
to hit like
I
the last
loved that.
turret,
The
they show up
implications.
there too with a bunch of like traps and enemies. Like they make it feel like a gauntlet, but also it didn't feel overbearing.
I felt like they were planting seeds for like some like mold connection, like the black goo
They
and
could.
shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
maybe
could.
not. Maybe not. I just kept thinking of like, oh, this is like
Yes.
kind of reminds me of the mold.
Yeah. Also, no, as far as we could tell, no reference to Merchant in Village and Stranger.
Yeah, the
like
Duke,
no
yeah.
Duke call.
Duke calls out the merchant, but not the other way around.
Maybe
Maybe they don't know each other yet.
Yeah,
Yep.
maybe
That's
they don't know
right.
each other yet.
Could be too soon.
Yeah.
Resident
This
Evil
is
9.
a long ass song
9.
before.
Yeah. Stranger.
Then the Sadler fight.
Yeah.
Cool.
Interesting way
Cool
they
fight.
did it.
Cool fight.
So I did do it legit finally.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I did it legit, even though I one shot him.
Don't worry, me and Mike both blasted the fuck out of that guy with a rocket
yeah,
launcher.
because we wanted to try it. We both, without even telling each other, had the exact same thought of like, well, first playthrough, I want to use everything. I want to use my whole toolkit, all the weapons, everything. See the rocket launcher even, they've been offering it the whole game. So we both, for Sadler,
get it,
dude,
yeah.
boom, just dead.
So
Yeah.
I like how it incorporates elements of the original fight, though.
Yeah.
It has exploding barrels that can help take him down. He destroys parts of the platforms
platform.
and forces you to go certain directions, and then you have to hit the switch to make the thing. And it has the visual and auditory alert that's like, oh, it's gonna fall. If you're on here, you're gonna fall too.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked in some, and then he goes up in the middle sometimes to summon into Vista doors. You still got the eye things you could shoot out. Like it had like it.
I love his eyes.
You still could. You had to evade prompts as well every now and then. So it felt like a better arena. Like the original one, running back and forth
was
across
better.
the bridges got a little like annoying.
It was better for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
Then
course, Ada shows
tosses
up.
the rocket launcher. Good stuff, Gives you the key with the teddy bear on it, dude.
Yeah.
Gotta have that escape sequence, man.
I guess this is where we go our separate ways. See you in a few months.
Less time on professional for that escape sequence.
Hell
yeah, you have less time.
You have like
Don't botch it.
minute and like 45 seconds. So you get there like you get to the jet ski with like 55 seconds. So you basically have to
do
floor it. You don't have to be
rules.
perfect. I did it with like 7 seconds left.
I mean, who's not flooring?
But like you gotta floor it, and like I think you can hit like one or two things, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like damage amplified, but like
that'd be really scary on a no save run.
Yeah, that would be.
I mean, yes, because that is.
I'd be shitting bricks.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love how they changed that sequence, like going through the door, getting grabbed, and it's like. Just don't even, there's not even a prompt. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then like, oh, what's actually asking what's going on? Like, well, without a master, they're disoriented. They're no more not a problem anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Great scene.
Rather than just like running
just
down,
like,
jumping down. If you forgot to catch Ashley, you get all the way to the jet ski. Like, oh shit, I didn't catch Ashley. Like, gotta hightail it back.
Them like freaking out. It reminds me of Dead Rising, the like queen when you throw the like glass jars down. They're all just like, ah!
But obviously, Huber.
Well, hold on. Before we get to that, obviously,
Okay.
just touch back to Ashley real quick.
Okay.
She's flirting with Leon this entire game, way more than the base game or the original game. I felt like.
Yeah,
I didn't get that.
What?
So
She's like, put it on that armor, Leon. He's like, oh, I'm not. Really
think you look dashing.
Fashion-y. And she goes, oh, I think you look dashing in that. Then she's talking about them being a team together, and he's like, oh, is that right? And she goes, you're no fun. She is clearly hitting on this man.
Okay, but it's like she's trying to drop hints. It's not Leon or Lewis like making like the remarks this time, and like they're
No.
cheesy.
Yeah.
And also like it's also like she trusts him more.
Yeah.
Like as they
Yeah, of
trust
course.
more, she's feeling more familiar with him. So it's a bit flirting, but it's also just being like playful. Like I think some of it's also
That's
just like
flirty.
I think some of it is a defense
That's
mechanism
what I got.
to deal with like
That's
the
what I got.
situation to
I
deflate
did not
her
get that.
tension because they just went through a shitty situation.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, I need distraction. And like, yeah, in like Speed taught us intense moments, like people like, like they're attractive people like,
Speed.
Speed.
like
Yep.
we might die. Like try, but like it felt,
Speed.
yeah. It felt a little bit more like realistic
right.
and natural, and
Yeah, it did feel way more realistic.
and it didn't come off as like
And at the end, she's like, I could have you assigned to duty.
That one
Might
was
have you-
like-
that one 100. Yeah,
That's
of course.
That's why, because I didn't really
Yeah.
Because of the first game, she's like, how about a little overtime or some shit like
Yeah.
that.
That's the name of the last challenge completion.
Yeah.
Doing overtime, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it was kind of in the
sure.
middle of on if
I mean, I don't have a problem with it at all. I just
Yeah.
thought it was funny.
And she
For
also
sure,
like
for sure.
picked up.
And she's like a college kid, dude.
yeah,
With Leon S. Kennedy.
yeah. Like it's like, and he like acts appropriately. Like he's like he understands
All
the situation, but like also she
Do my
picks up like
job.
when they're leading up to the Sadler fight. Last sequence of a Navistors in that cave
is that
section.
lady?
Yeah, who's that? Like Ada. It seems like she can take care of herself. Oh, it sounds like you know each other, and like she like picks up. on
She
it.
sounded like kind of annoyed to me when she said that.
yeah, but like it was.
She's like, fuck competition.
But he doesn't do the whole thing like he doesn't hit on Hunnigan.
it
Doesn't have the whole line about like, oh, there's someone else with like Ada. Like they don't like really go that direction. Like
No.
like
Yeah.
romance is not the focus, and like
Yeah.
pickup lines is like not really the focus of this game for their quips. They
I
still
like her.
have
My favorite was you're swinging on chandeliers. Who does that?
Yes.
What are you, my mother?
Yeah. What are you, my
that.
mother?
Like, they-
was the
Dude.
best.
Brad, like they had the quips still. Like
Yeah,
Leon
of
is
course.
still like a
Yeah, of course
badass.
he is.
He's
Yeah,
still
he
saying
had
his
great
shit.
quips.
It's just like better quips now.
Yeah, it's just
Like,
better written.
Yeah, it's exactly. Exactly.
Mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My God, what
I
a
really
delivery.
like that stuff.
All right,
What a line
now,
read.
go ahead.
Okay, so let's get to it, Huber. Post credits, the whole time I'm playing through, it's like leading up to RE4 Remake, Huber's like, I gotta see Wesker and Remake.
Yeah,
I
you
gotta see it.
And he knew it was coming. He was pleased.
Yes.
he was so pleased with that scene when Ada gets on the call.
Billions.
Yeah. All right, Huber, gush.
Just no. I mean, they clearly
Well, it was cool to not see him in a codex call.
exactly.
Oh,
Not on
you
a
do
call.
hear him. Earlier.
You hear him earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not entirely sure. wasn't sure if it was
Oh, I knew it
Krauser
was
or
him.
him.
I knew it was
But I was like,
Wesker
I'm pretty
right
sure
away.
it's Wesker. But you know what? Maybe they gave away his voice, and that's it.
yeah,
I didn't think we'd see him. I really didn't think they were going to show him.
I was like, if anything, post credits. But this was kind of. I mean, it is
this
like
was.
it is post credits, like mid credits or whatever. It's one of my favorite storylines in all of Resident Evil is Wesker and Wesker's thirst for the perfect virus and trying to obtain samples of all of these viruses. Fucking T, G, T Veronica, Las Plagas, all that shit. So I love that they still are honoring that potentially. Ada was clearly working for him to get the sample because, like, I was worried. It was like, are they gonna keep those plot lines intact? And they did, and I was stoked. And then it just made my head race with potential possibilities because the main arc of Resident Evil, really, I mean, no disrespect to Leon, but it's like Resident Evil 1, Code Veronica, and 5.
Yeah.
Are like
That's that arc. That's like the main thing.
that is like the main arc. So like now is the time to lean into that. It is so time for Code Veronica. Like they just and I thought too how like it actually works kind of better because if you haven't played Code Veronica, you don't know about all this shit. Whatever, you're coming in, you're a new fan. It's you don't really know who even is this person. They tease this person, and then it's like, okay, remember that big bad who we teased? Code Veronica time. Flesh it out.
Yeah. And if you've played 2, you can get a lot of clarity and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But they're going to remake one. When's the
100%.
30th anniversary? It's like a couple years away, I think.
26.
So about 3
years
3 years.
away.
There you
Mikami left.
Remake that shit.
Mikami left Tango.
Yes. And just like even Operation Javier, that's fucking the Veronica virus is in that shit. Like that's the whole thing. The T Veronica virus. When they go there, there's like Javier Hidalgo working Umbrella, whatever, and it's the T Veronica virus. So it's like
Yeah, ties in.
all that shit, dude. It's so essential.
Yeah.
So
That'd be great.
And I'm
love
glad you get the unlocks, all the character models.
Yeah, me too.
First thing I did was all the concept art and like a ton of not all the character models, but a bunch of them. I see Wesker, and he's just what is it? What does he say?
His line.
What is it? Fuck, what is it?
Expediting.
It's like excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. I spam that thing like 50 times. I was just like, excellent. Excellent. Yes.
Yes, it was excellent.
Yes.
One thing about the ending
Yeah.
ended up being a slight disappointment.
Uh-oh.
You were there with me. It was building up really well, but it didn't pay off.
Yes.
The recreation of the storybook scene from
I agree.
RE4 during the start of the credits, while they have the same music,
Yeah.
and they did a like nice atmospheric thing, like showing them in paintings and stuff. Like I thought that was kind of a cool like change.
Yeah. I liked the art of the original.
Once it changes tone to like the bad stuff happening, because it followed the lore like of like Sadler coming back taking power.
Yeah.
I like the intimacy of the original versions, like what happened to just the village in that like storyboard art. It felt, I don't know, it like tugged at me more, and it felt more like impactful and emotional. Like the artwork for like the last part was like kind of like blurrier, and I'm like, oh, like it's just like this is not like it. didn't feel as good.
Yeah.
So honestly, I really like how well done the first one. And it's like projected on the side of a wall in the village. Like it was like a cool theme.
Yeah.
So I thought they were gonna do something like a village, like a storybook or something.
Yeah.
Or like someone like a character. Maybe there was like, dude, it could be like a villager child or something who was like illustrating what happened. I thought we were gonna get like something morbid like that, but it was okay. Yeah. But it was clear to me not superior than the original. And the original
Budget.
was
Budget.
but the music good. Also, we don't get the second song. We get that lyrical song during the credits. We don't get the original version of the second part of the ending credits music.
I love that song.
Oh wait, actually, I skipped.
No, doesn't it?
No, even with the original music filter on, it does not play it there.
Oh, okay.
Because when you skip cutscenes, it goes right to the vocal credits, and it still plays that song. However, shout out to the original freaking soundtrack, man.
Yeah.
Some secret replays. I'm playing with it on. It's still so good.
The bongos,
So
dude.
good. It matches up
So many
so
good
well
songs.
with this stuff. I love it. That original soundtrack's so good.
Sick.
Yeah.
Holds up.
Yeah, it does. I guess that's it for our spoiler mode. We all really. You got something?
Did we talk? Any final thoughts on the shooting gallery? We didn't talk anything.
Oh, sure. I love the shooting
Fantastic.
gallery. The theming around it was so good, dude.
I loved going there with Luis
yeah,
and
that-
Ashley.
the
being there
banter.
was so cozy, dude. I
right.
love the shooting gallery.
Love
Big
it.
fun.
The charms.
Big charms.
Cool edition.
Charms are fun. Yeah, the case thing.
Dude, the epic charms are so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 3 tiers. There's a regular.
Yep.
the
Yep.
blue,
I have
and the reds.
I have like knife repairs cost less or something. Is like one of the ones
I have like increased melee damage, like 20% increased melee damage. Like one of them is an Ashley icon, one of them is like the Salazar symbol or whatever.
Sick,
that
sick,
one's
sick,
like
sick.
the best one right now I have.
Hell
It's
yeah.
really good.
Cool. Yeah, I guess that's it. Unless you have anything else. Otherwise, I fucking love that game. That was so fun, dude.
10 out of 10.
It's been a good year for survival horror so far with
Yep.
Dead Space and now this.
Yep.
Let's keep going, baby. Keep ramping it up.
Rampant.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching or listening, whatever you're doing. If you enjoy what we do, check us out on patreon.com/easyallies. That's how we are supported. It'd be great if you'd stop on over there. Till next Resident Evil game comes out or
Separate
whatever.
ways,
Separate
or-
ways.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that.
Dude, I just hope we get to play just like the original. Let me play as Wesker in Mercenaries mode. Let me do it.
Yeah.
I also like that the village concept art was kind of like this version of Wesker. Mm-hmm. Kind of just like the vest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I had to get a little Wesker in at the end.
Yeah, you looked good. All right. All right. We'll see you later. Take care, everybody.
Spoiler mode, final warning, spoiler mode activated.